They're lurking in the shadows, preying on the curious. UFO grifters and scammers, making us delirious. They're taking over the community, spreading lies and deceit, but we won't let them win. We won't admit defeat. UFO grifters, UFO scammers, trying to take over the world like a bad dream. Every balloon in the sky, every light in the night. The media runs with it like aliens in flight. Don't get me started on those ancient aliens. Frauds, spreading misinformation like it's sent from the gods. They twist the truth, they bend the facts, but we see through their lies. We're not buying their acts. Take over the world like a bad dream. Every balloon in the sky, every light in the night. The media runs with it like aliens in flight. But we won't be fooled, we won't be swayed, we'll keep searching for the truth. We won't be afraid, we'll dance to the rhythm of our own beat and kick those grifters right off their feet. So let's keep our eyes on the sky and our minds open wide. We'll uncover the mysteries with truth on our side. No more grifters. No more scams. We'll dance to the beat of our own UFO jam.
Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back. It is time for another episode of the WACKADOO of the week. But this week is special because I think I have several wackadoos for you. And of course, if you're unfamiliar with this, is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine on the internet. There's a YouTube channel run by a man named James Rink. And when you see him, keep in mind, he's the host of the show. But keep in mind that he claims that he's a super soldier and has superpowers, among other claims. And for those that just are not aware of this, there is a whole community of people on the internet who get together and jerk each other off and tell each other about their superpowered adventures and how they saved the galaxy and stuff like that. And like sometimes when I talk about this, people think I'm kidding. I got to tell you, I am not kidding. There is a whole community of these people. And for those that maybe need not a comic book person, super soldiers were invented by Marvel Comics. And the first and most famous is Captain America. They gave him the super soldier serum, which gave him superpowers. So the funny thing about these super soldier LARPers or pretenders is some of them, I think, really believe it. Like it's a form, maybe they're mentally ill, maybe they're crazy. I really don't know. And I saw let me see here. Some kind and generous people already in our live chat throwing money at me. Great to see it. Starlight Warrior with $2.79 Canadian. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. And Review Tech Mongolia, who's a big show supporter, longtime show supporter now. Keep up the great work, Stephen. Love the content. Well, thank you for that. Kindness, generosity, and support. And look at this. See how, look, I love it. I didn't even show up and there's already money in my hat. And I apologize. I was a little bit late start today. Sea House with $5 and one for the gold. Thank you, Sea House. Big ups, and I appreciate it immensely. And Starlight Warrior with $2 says, "Suffer, super soldiers." Yeah. So I was saying thank you, Starlight Warrior, so much for the support tonight. Big ups. And so, of course, I grew up being a comic book nerd. So some of these people, I think, read too many comic books and they have concocted. Yes, Steven is not kidding, says Alga Ray. This is a real thing. You can go look. It's called Super Soldier Talk. It's on YouTube and Rumble. It's a real thing. And not only do they get together on the internet and jerk each other off and tell each other about their superpowered adventures, they also have in-person conferences. So tonight we're going to be hearing about this in-person conference, the point of which is activating your super soldier within. This is crazy. And it gets crazy. Like, I thought it was crazy when I found this shit, right? And it is. But the more of this community that you observe, the crazier it gets. Because then we get into people that are directly ripping off comic books. Like, there are people that claim they become a Hulk-like creature, but they always change it a little bit from the comics. Like, oh, but I don't turn green. I'm still flesh colored when I Hulk out. And I just can't believe these people are real. Some of them. And the funny thing is there's a YouTube channel which is very, very popular. He's got a huge number of subscribers. I don't remember how many, but it's called Weird Stories with Oki. And this guy found this community, and then he did something better than me. He decided he was going to study the lore. And there's some common lore with the super soldier stuff, like Space Nazis is one, Lunar Operations Command. There's secret bases on the dark side of the moon, which, by the way, is completely and totally ridiculous. Because for those unaware of like actual science, the Soviet Union, or Russia now, the United States of America, China, and even I think India all have lunar satellites which photograph the surface of the entire moon. So there can't be a secret base unless all those countries are in on the cover up. Starlight Warrior says, "It's not just crazy, it's batshit crazy." You are correct, sir. You are correct. And RP with 5. Why does every super soldier look like they need help climbing a flight of stairs? That's another point. I always make this point. These people all look terrible. They're all fat, overweight, out of shape. And a lot of them are smoking and drinking and drugging, so it's just kind of ridiculous. Thank you, RP. Big show supporter RP chiming in. And thanks, Starlight Warrior, for another one. Starlight Warrior is trying to make it rain up in this bitch. And by the way, I've been in kind of a desert. I could use some rain, people. Review Tech Mongolia. That they all bathe in Wilcox urine for powers. No, each of them has, if you listen to these people, they'll tell you like how they got their superpowers. Some of them claim that they had cybernetic implants. So they're like the Bionic Man or like Cyborg from DC Comics, or, I don't know. The movie Cyborg with Van Damme, I think they watched, and they decided they had cybernetic implants, which made them superpowered. Some of them took some kind of serum to get their superpowers. And there's always this weird psychological element, too. Like, I was tortured as a child to bring out my altar, and my altar has the superpowers. And some of them have excuses because I've challenged some of them, like, show me your superpowers, dude. And I've gotten so deep into this thing that one of them, Randy Kramer, who we busted running a MedMed scam, and we busted him selling people superpowers for $150 a month. Take his courses and you'll get superpowers too. We totally busted him as a complete and total grifter. One of the things I did when I was A-logging him and felting him so badly is I challenged him to a boxing match. And I told him I would give him $10,000 if he could make it to the end of the boxing match with me without getting, TKO'd or KO'd. He wouldn't do it, which just proves They don't have superpowers. Because if you did, my point with the challenge, Tim, was, well, I'm just an ordinary slob. You're the one with the super soldier superpowers. And this guy claimed he got his arms and legs blown off on Mars and he got put in a med bed and they just regenerated his blown off arms and legs. So they all have different origins for how they got their superpowers. Uh, yeah, I was going to fight him. He didn't want to do it, right? Fight Randy Kramer in the ring. Yeah, that's what I said I would do. And I offered him $10,000. And look at that. Robert P. is here, raining down the free memberships on all those in attendance. God bless Robert P., the MVP of gifting Truth Seekers memberships. And this, my friends, is why you have to subscribe right now if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button, because if you're in the live chat and Robert P. graces us with his generous, wonderful presence and rains these free memberships down on the live chat, you could win one. And look at this. All these people won a free membership thanks to Robert P., Tommy T., Mother Freya, Thomas Gallagher, Velveeta Cheese Shits. Is that right? Yeah, Velveeta Cheese Shits. A great user ID. Strip Bear. What is a strip bear? A bear that's a stripper? That's crazy. All right, but yeah. Cat's Pajamas. All right, that one makes sense. Rare Tricks got a free membership from Robert P. Out on bail. I'm glad to hear it. Got a membership thanks to Robert P. Don Sandcastle got a membership thanks to Robert P. A posting in a crowded urinal got a free membership thanks to Robert P. So if you're in the live chat and you're a subscriber but not yet a YouTube channel member, and somebody like Robert P. comes along and rains down these gifted memberships, you could win one, but you must be a subscriber. So thank you, Robert P., for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of the show. It is much, much appreciated.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
We are praising it thanks to Robert P., the MVP lately of these gifted memberships. Thank you, Robert P., for your continuing support. It means a lot to me. There's so many people all over the world want to see me keep doing this. And by the way, just a note of business, I was busting David Wilcock's balls that, when normal people make a business deal, it's over and money changes hands very quickly. So I've been working on this real estate deal. And today I'm so happy. I got really bad news today, which was that the closing costs to this deal were, I was told by the seller, it'd only be a couple $100. Yeah, 900 of them. So I got bad news today, but I got to pay to get the deal done. So I did. And I went to the post office. I went to the bank. I signed all the papers. They're notarized by a notary public. And I sent all the paperwork to the lawyer. The deal is now done. See, David Wilcock, that's how a business deal is done. And I mentioned it yesterday, saying it was just about done, and today it's done. And the money's changed hands, and we're all good to go. So I'm in a pretty good mood today, because if you've ever had a dream and then you do you ever have like a moment of faith in a personal dream and you just said, like, it's risky, but I'm going to do this? I did that several years ago, buying this little plot of land in this crazy place that's like there's miles before there's any neighbors. It's just woods. And then recently, somebody who owned all the property around that first little plot of land, which was just under an acre, somebody that owned a whole bunch of the land around that first plot I bought to start on that dream, contacted me, and they've sold me all the land they own that is around my property. And I get a road with it, which I'm so excited about. I think some of you know I've been hiking back and forth from the other cabin to this new place. It's 3 miles each way. Or I've been pedaling my bicycle. I finally got an e-bike to make things a little easier. But now I'm going to soon be able to just drive right in there, because there's a main road behind this undeveloped forest place. that is township maintained. It's also township plowed. So in the winter, I'll still be able to get through. And then there's a road that I turn into. That's it's a dirt road, but it's a clearing in the woods. It's a road. It's even got a street name, and I'll be able to drive right up to the first cabin I'm building on that property, which also strangely, it's so funny how things work out. The new property, the old property is right in the middle of what will be the new bigger property. And I've already started building a little cabin right in the middle of this big expanse of land, and we get a road. So I will no longer have to hike or take a bicycle to visit the property and work on it. Hauling tools and drinks and food and all that stuff. Even on a bicycle and a backpack, it is not fun. So I have a video of the whole property. I walked it, and you will be amazed at how long it takes just to walk the length of the property and back. It's amazing. So I'm in a great mood. I'm so happy about this. But I did violate. Everybody's got to have rules in life. And one of my rules, and it helps that I have an accountant wife because she's pretty thrifty and good with money and finance. We have a rule, I should say, that we do not spend money not already in our possession. What do I mean? We don't borrow money unless it's absolutely necessary. So in other words, if you're going to buy a newer car or even a certified pre-owned, you're going to have to take a payment, or if for your primary residence, you need a mortgage to get the home because you don't have, hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy a house outright. Yeah, you could borrow for that. But anything else, I don't use credit cards. Occasionally we will when there's a no interest for 6 months deal, but then we pay it off before the 6 months. We don't pay interest, and I don't generally spend money before I have it. But to make this deal work, I had to put half down in cash, which I had. Thank God. And by the way, I want to thank Darkside Phil and Keno Casino, because all of the money from the down payment that I just purchased this big, huge property in the woods with came from the Keno bump and the Darkside Phil interview and all those pig roasts. Remember, we didn't used to cover that kind of content. So for me, that was extra money. That wasn't regular show money covering these UFO grifters. So big shout out and thanks to especially Keno Casino. They were so kind and helped me so much. And I never would have had the extra money to do this. And like I said, it's just weird how the universe works, I was just at the property maybe 3-4 weeks ago. And I remember thinking, like, it would be great if I could buy up all these properties around my property. But the problem is they're all tiny plots. So I ended up buying 15 of them to make one huge property out of. But it all worked out great. So big shout out and thanks to PPP and Andy Worski. They helped make that dream pot. Like, if not for their help, I wouldn't have that kind of extra money. Not tens of thousands of dollars to just go, okay, let's do this. But I did have to take out a loan for the rest, which I'm not very happy about, but I'm going to deal. I don't have any other debt. So I'll be able to pay that down and pay as little interest on the mortgage of that deal as possible. Randy Kramer could not fight his way out of a paper bag, says Railroad Bum. What a grifter. I love the recent content, Stephen. It's a good approach, and I will always support you for as long as I can. God bless. And there's Railroad Bum, who's a cool songwriter and musician, by the way. We got to twist his arm to get him to make some more songs for us, right? Thank you, Railroad Bum, for your generosity and your support of the show. Much appreciated. Yes. So if I'm praising the cash more than usual, or I start begging like a crackhead like DSP, it'll be a little bit of financial stress taking on that goal. So happy Wilcock and DSP could fund your dream. Yeah, majorly those two did. You are correct. You are absolutely correct. It's because of them I was able to do this. So God bless the grifters. Review Tech Mongolia.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
Yes, and we've got Starlight Warrior with another one. This news makes me happy, Stephen. Good for you. Yes. And Pardon me. I made a video of just me walking the property and kind of explaining this. But I have to make one little edit. I will be uploading that tonight. I wanted to wait. I didn't want to like announce it to the whole community and then the deal goes south at the last minute for some reason. And then I look like a liar or a, bullshitter or, or I didn't want to jinx myself. So I made a video this past weekend of me just walking from the new road all the way to where the property line starts, all the way to the other property line. It's like city blocks long and there's nothing but woods. There's no neighbors for miles in every direction. I'm going to have to figure out how to talk my wife into me building it. I can build a house. I've built cabins. I can build a house. I'm going to try to talk my wife into let's build a homestead there because it's, going to be basically, it's somewhere in the area of 7 to 10 acres, or it will be, with both properties put together. In the middle of the woods, with a private road access, no neighbors for miles in every direction. It's my idea of heaven, Starlight Warrior. But thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
All right, and we've got another one, Troll with one for the goal. Don't feed the moose at the cabin. We don't have moose in Pennsylvania. We may have some elk, maybe, but not in my area. So there's no moose. There's lots of bears, though. The big problem that I have with that property so far is there's a lot of bears. And it doesn't help that one of the closest neighbor to me, which is more than a mile, maybe a mile and a half or 2 miles, he feeds the bears. So I feel like telling him, like, could you stop doing that? Because, I don't want to get mauled by a bear while I'm camping on my property. But we'll have the first cabin up pretty soon. And so I will be posting a video about the new property. And then I'm going to start posting progress report videos as I finish that first cabin, which really is a glorified tool shed, someplace to get away from a possible bear that is getting too aggressive, lock my stuff and tools in the shed, and maybe I'll sleep there. Who knows? But thank you, Troll.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
All right, we got to get started here because I have some beers chilling in the fridge and I'm going to celebrate my expanding dream. Isn't that funny how things work out? Like I said, this guy just contacted me out of the blue. Got a letter in the mail. Starlight Warrior. Let me know. I am a bear exterminator. Good burgers. I know a lot of people that like bear meat. I don't believe that I've ever had bear meat. So I don't know. But I did. I had a friend in Georgia and we ate some bear stew or something when I was visiting him. He's got a compound there. But thank you, Starlight Warrior, and praise the cash.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
All right, we're going to get started on our week wackadoos of the week. So, let me see, wackadoo. There we go. All right, so I thought we'd start, and let me put my fair use banner up. This James Rink guy can be a little, I don't know. I think he threatened me before with copyright strike, but he didn't actually file one. But anyway, this is fair use. This is a transformative work. We're educating the public about the wackadoos that claim they have superpowers and are super soldiers. And, James Rink is just an all-around wackadoo. He's got a lot of crazy fringe beliefs. Like he believes that he gets messages from aliens. So we're going to begin as an appetizer of somebody mentioned slop tonight. Yeah, we're into the slop. All right. But I'm still streaming. It's slop, but I'm here. Okay. Just take the slop and eat it, piggies. All right. No, I think it's good. I don't know. I'm very entertained by this. Like I said, it's like a guilty pleasure of mine to check in on this guy. And by the way, this same nerdy guy has these crazy TikTok dance videos that you wouldn't believe, like choreographed dances that he does with other people and stuff. It's wild. But here he is claiming that he got a message from reptilian aliens, but the good guy reptilians, the light brigade of the reptilian Draco aliens. I guess these aliens.
Thank you, James Drink.
Oh wait, these Draco aliens are different than the ones that butt banged. David Wilcock, because these guys apparently they don't butt bang. They're the good guys, and I can't imagine like good guy aliens butt banging. Like they're good guys, except they still butt bang. I don't think they do the anal probing and the butt banging if they're the good guys. It's just my opinion. I mean, I'm not an expert on butt banging aliens.
Thank you, James Drink, for all that you do to enlighten humanity. Thank you, James Drink, for all of the effort you have put forth during this arduous time of ascension. Thank you, James Drink, for all that you do on behalf of all beings, especially those of us that have no voice. The Reptilian Rebellion of Light and Science.
The Reptilian Rebellion? Holy jeez! It's the Reptilian... What was it? The Reptilian Rebellion of Light and Science. Okay. And this is quite an older video of him, but I just want to get you... We got to give you a taste of the guy who hosts this and talks to all these wackadoos. So we'll do that.
Hello everybody, James Rink here. Today I'm going to present to you something a little bit different. Actually, this is a message which may have been from...
Is that a dick behind? No, that's some kind of alien with a big snout behind him. Is that supposed to be the reptilian alien behind him? Looks kind of like a cock, right?
The ETs, but...
And by the way, it's so funny because this guy lives with his mom, apparently. And listen, not that there's anything wrong with that, because just to be clear, after my father died, my mother, you know, she was a career housewife. So it wasn't like I lived with my mother, though. It was like she lived with me. I paid all the bills and everything. But anyway, James Rink like lives in his mom's house, and sometimes during the stream, she yells at him to keep it down. And he's like, "I'm sorry, Mom, I'm talking to my super soldier friends." You can't make this shit up. He's a super soldier. And look at this guy. Just look at him. He claims he's a super soldier.
I just thought I would present it to you and let you decide. Again, I can't vouch for the validity of any of this content because, well, for starters, everything that I present to you is based on what others say, so it's basically just hearsay at this moment. But I figured it was interesting enough to present it to you. So here goes. Basically, the way this all begins is that an associate of mine.
Yeah, listen. This is I can't claim that this is anything other than bullshit, but I'm going to present it to you and you decide if it's bullshit or not.
Offered to channel an entity named Tian, and if you've seen any of the prior episodes that I've done, I did a show. Well, it was basically this content from Adam Z. You have to go way back. It's actually the first one that I did with Adam. And Adam claimed to channel an entity known as Tian, who claimed at that time that he was a 12-foot tall reptilian. And actually, the picture behind me is Adam's drawing. Is it was like a crocodile snout.
Oh,
and he's a reptilian scientist from Diaries 1564. He claimed he worked on super soldiers for the military, and he didn't like how the military was treating us, so he attempted to contact me through Adam and deliver a message. Basically, he wanted us to help find their files. He said they're in Iowa or something, but that's beside the point. You can go back and listen to that.
So a reptilian alien was channeled by another guy who wanted this guy, James Rink, to go find the super soldier files in Iowa. Okay, that sounds legit so far, right?
So I asked my friend to channel this entity, and Tian basically reiterated that Nathan was still on the moon. Because that's one of the things that Tian told me, is that Nathan was on the dark side of the moon being held in a trip chair.
Okay.
And that's where he's been for the past, I guess, 10 odd years.
Oh, he's been stuck on the moon for 10 years. And none of those moon satellites saw him on the moon. He's just been stuck there. None of the Chinese satellites that are imaging the moon constantly, they didn't see it. And I mean, China has satellites that image the moon around the moon. They've been there for quite some time, the United States as well, and Russia. But nobody saw the secret base where this guy's hanging out. Culinary Quest is here with a very good question and a kind and generous super chat. If Wilcock and Good are having sex and the house catches on fire, who gets out first? Good on top or Wilcock on the bottom? Wilcock on the bottom because he's already got his ass packed. Rah! Ha ha! We will allow it. We will allow that.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
Oh, geez. Well, thank you, Culinary Quest. We appreciate you. Thanks for appreciating us. And we've got another one from Last Minute Lacey. Sasquatch and Dogman are in the woods, Stephen. Please beware. You need to get the salt and iron crowbar out and keep them nearby. Throw the salt in the eyes and attack with the crowbar afterwards. Well, I got bear mace. I don't know. Does bear mace count? But thank you, Last Minute Lacey, longtime show supporter. Good to see you, and thank you for your kindness.
Raise the cash, 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 raise the cash.
Very, very generous crowd tonight. So we will continue with our journey. All right, so his friend is stuck on a moon base.
And he said that Nathan wouldn't remember me even if I was able to somehow rescue him. But anyway, so I was just joking. It's like, well,
James Rink actually thinks he has the capability to fly to the moon and rescue his friend that's on the dark side of the moon. This is what I'm saying, where like some of the things these people say is just so pie in the sky, ridiculous and childish and stupid. Like, oh, I could rescue him, but he won't remember me, so I won't.
at that point, okay, so my friend channeled Etienne, and that's all he said. He said Nathan's still on the moon, and I was like, well, can you get anything else? And wasn't able to get anything else, but I was just joking. I said, well, maybe these reptilians should. Why don't they ever just call us on our phone or something? You know, why do they have to go through all these weird methods of delivering messages?
Fair. Why do they need to be channeled? If they're real, couldn't they just call me on the phone? James Rink wants a 12-foot tall reptilian alien with a crocodile snout to call him.
So the next morning, my friend claims that some entity called him up and left a voicemail. And I'm going to read that to you. It says, "Thank you, James Rink, for all that you do to enlighten humanity. Thank you, James Rink, for all the effort."
Why can't he play recording? He put an AI voice to this message, right? If it's really an alien leaving a voicemail, why don't you play us the voicemail, dude?
You have put forth during this arduous time of ascension. And thank you, James Rink, for all that you do on behalf of all beings, especially those of us that have no voice. The reptilian rebellion of light and science. And I'm going to play that in just a moment. But what I find
Maybe he is going to play
curious about this is that I did a
I think he did it with an AI voice, though.
regression with Alex Diaz. This is probably about 2 years ago, and back then I didn't record it. I wish I did.
Hypnotic regression.
So now I would record all my regressions, but afterward, because during this regression, Alex went into an underground facility and he saw some reptilian beings, and he attempted to communicate with them, and one of them started speaking in some alien language, which I believe is probably, well, at least Tian claimed it might be
realistic.
called Zion.
Crocodile Man.
Is what they go by, but
look, that looks like the
then,
V aliens.
Alex started
Wait a
speaking in
minute.
this.
That's bullshit. Those look like the V aliens. Ever see V? The Final Battle? Come on, man. You got to try harder than this. Even put the red outfit that the V aliens wore, the different symbol. Come on, man.
Then Alex started speaking in this other language, and it sounds something like Pawa kish tish kasha kosh to simpuali kawa bersi sira sis komo tekto.
Okay, I'm a professional wackadoo translator, so I can translate this for you. Pawaki tish kasa. You are fucking retarded. Kash tot sempu ali. If you believe this shit. Kawaba Sarah. Again, you're retarded. Siskan Motek Tot. Like really, really retarded. All right, I've translated the wackadoo for us all.
Okay, so It almost sounds Mayan, but anyway, he claims it translates to, well, he also said it in English too. That's why I know this, what he says. It says, James Rink, you are a great one. Thank you for everything you are doing. Without you, we reptilians wouldn't think of humans the same as we would.
Wow, look at that. Like, James Rink is so important that aliens are being channeled and calling him on the phone just to glaze him and lick his balls, right? Like, come on, man.
The same as we would. So, there you go. I don't really know what to take about all this. I'm very grateful that our scaly lizards would think of me that way, but
I'm very grateful.
I've never heard of this
aliens
reptilian
reached out
rebellion
to
of
me.
light and science. I guess they sound a little bit nicer than the ones that are running this planet. But anyway,
they're
love and
nicer
light
than
to
the
all of them, I
buttbaggers.
guess. And let's keep on moving on this disclosure movement. Maybe we can do a little bit more than just have little voicemails or messages on cell phones. It could be maybe on TV. I don't know.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right.
send us
Well,
a
that's
video,
enough of me. So let me go ahead and
aliens.
play this audio so you can hear it for yourself. Thank you, everyone, for listening
Great.
in. Bye-bye.
We're going to hear the alien.
Thank you, James Rink, for all that you do to
Wait a minute. I call bullshit. That's not an alien. That's an AI voice, you assholes. An Indian AI voice. Why did he pick an Indian female AI voice?
Thank you, James Rink, for all that you do to enlighten humanity.
Yeah, James Rink must be important because aliens are calling him from space to lick his nutsack. Wow.
Thank you, James Rink, for all of the effort you have put forth during this arduous time of ascension.
Oh, heck.
Thank you, James Rink, for all that you do on behalf of all beings, especially those of us that have no voice. The Reptilian Rebellion of Light and Science.
Wow. Sounds official. The Reptilian Rebellion of Light and Science. And again, these must be different aliens than the one that butt banged David Wilcock, right? I would think, right? You can't butt bang if you're like a rebellion of light and science. I think it would be against light and science to be anally probing people. Stephen, let me know what character subjects you would like songs about. I love a cool challenge. Thank you so much. My pleasure. And thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Much appreciated.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
All righty then. And let me just catch up with the live chat. We've got another one. Chill Station 7 is here. This guy should be wearing a retard helmet. Yeah, he really needs one. You know, those helmets they put on people that just bang their head against walls because they're so mental. Oh, Chill Station 7. That is both terrible and wonderful, and we will allow it.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
And Rotary Matrix is here with 2. Hope you and your family are well. 1 for the goal. Yes, we're doing great, and thank you.
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
I'm a little nervous though, Rotary Matrix, because I gotta up my fishing game, right? I have to up my fishing for the tournament that we have with my family every year. Okay, so we'll go to the next one, and this is the one that's on the thumbnail. This is his video, Super Soldier Talk, a message from the reptilian. Oh no, that's the one we just did. Dr. Johnny Delirious. And I just want to say a few things before we start on this doctor. First of all, he's not a real doctor, not a medical doctor. He's like a homeopathic natural medicine doctor, which is, you know, like basically like a crystal hippie bitch, but a dude. And he likes herbs and stuff, you know, and he thinks he's a scientist. It is pretty wild, but we're going to get into it. And the giants of Afghanistan are mentioned at the beginning of this. Oh, man. The Afghanistan giants are included for some reason. I don't know. We're going to get into it. So there is a Super Soldier Activation Conference. And from what I understand, and this was explained to me by somebody that's deep, deep, deep in this community, at some of these events, they basically scam people. Like, do you think you might have been a super soldier? come to this conference for $500 and we'll hypnotize you and you'll recover your super soldier memories and maybe even your powers, right? Like they're literally promising people to activate them as super soldiers if they come to the conference, which of course is a huge total scam. And this is the so-called Giant of Kandahar story that he's opening the video with. I don't know why. For those unaware, some lunatic on the internet told a story of being in Iraq, I think it was. Iraq or Afghanistan, one of those two. And they encountered and fought a big, huge giant. And they killed it. And then, like, Men in Black types came and flew it away. But it's a single source story. There's no corroboration. I think the story's fake. It's a hoax. Really great music.
They took away the giants. They took away the midgets. Then we, large or small, just useless digits. They took away our joy. They took away our pride. Now we have no place to hide.
That might be a copyrighted song. With my luck, it is. I just lost my $7. And okay, so this is the doctor. He is a laboratory naturopathic doctor. Well, I don't even know what that is. And I think he made that up. Naturopathic doctor definition. Oh no, maybe that's a thing. A naturopathic doctor is a primary care physician who diagnoses, treats, and manages patients with acute and chronic conditions using a holistic approach that emphasizes natural healing and disease prevention. In other words, he's a quack. He is a quack. That's right, he's a quack. Troll, where are the fish photos on X? I forgot to do it. I will do it right at the end of the broadcast. And Tales of the Sonic Voyage, who's a huge show supporter, is here for the land grab. Dropped a new set of albums recently. Doing well. More up soon. Congratulations, Steven. Yeah, check out Tales of the Sonic Voyage YouTube channel. He's got lots of good music there. And coming from me, that's high praise, Tales of the Sonic Voyage. I don't like most other people's music. You know, I don't know. You know, there's only certain, but he does a great job. He has good production, decent songwriting, good structures. I think he does an excellent job. But thank you for your kindness.
Praise the gas, praise the gas, praise the gas.
All right, we are all caught up. So I just wanted to get past the copyrighted music so I don't lose my $7 or whatever the ad revenue is. Oh, it's still going. Oh, here we go. Is he muted?
There we go.
Yeah, he was.
Hello, everybody. Okay. Welcome to the Super Soldier Activation Conference. I'm James Rink. I'm your host of this amazing event, and today we're with Dr. Johnny Delirious.
Remember, the guy that's hosting this guy, James Rink, he claims that he is a super soldier. Look at him.
Dr. Johnny Delirious, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Johnny. And if you saw the beginning video, the giants, if you want to know, they took away. We used to have giants all around us, and they were our friends. And the only place giants can hide these days is in Russia. Why do you think they want to attack Russia? It's because that's where the giants are.
Wow, I did not know that.
That's just one
all
aspect
the giants are in
of
Russia.
What we're facing today. And I am the master survivor. And I want you, and I encourage you to come to this conference to hear what I have to say, because I'm the world leader. And
yeah, he's wearing my glasses, that prick.
And by Doing
Very
the
close.
laboratory testing, I can tell you exactly what's going on in your body that's non-invasive and doesn't invade or hurt your body at all. And then we can work together to get your body back to normal. That's what it's all about, being a master survivor. You survive above all the other circumstances. So, James, I'm happy to help you out. I can't wait for the conference. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. So far, I wouldn't let that guy like help my dog if it was sick, right? Let alone a person. I mean, I don't know. And RP says, I remember a naturopath arrested for murder a while back because they were treating someone by taking out their blood, blasting it with radiation, and injecting it back in to cure them. Natural. Yeah, that's the textbook definition of a quack, RP. You don't go to these quacks, right?
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
Now, I will say one thing. First of all, don't take medical advice from anybody on the internet, especially me. I'm just a YouTuber. But one thing I will say is that I am not big on this homeopathic medicine and some other quackadoo stuff. But what I am big on is nutrition. So few doctors know anything about nutrition. For example, if you do have a cancer diagnosis and you're fighting the cancer, it's a great idea to eat certain foods and avoid other things like white sugar, because that's something that your cancer cells will feed off of, that sugar. And there's lots of things you could do, but consult your healthcare professional or a professional nutritionist if you are experiencing anything like that. But I believe in that saying, let food be thy medicine. For example, I just, and this was just my own personal experience. Again, consult your doctor. But I just sprained my ankle pretty bad. But I'm on a carnivore diet, and I think all that protein helped me bounce back from that. Oh, and by the way, you hear that? There's a big storm brewing outside, and quite often when there's a storm here, we lose power, which means we lose internet. So if I suddenly de-res and I don't come back within a few minutes, I totally apologize. Just be forewarned that it's a possibility. Yeah.
Great, thank you. So I have an announcement. So everyone, the first person to guess why he is called Dr. Delirious will receive a 25% off coupon for the Super Soldier Activation Conference.
Wow,
So
that's very generous.
I will
Discount
be monitoring
bullshit.
the chat, and we'll see who answers correctly. So best of luck to all of you, right? Okay, so let's start with the first question. Okay, Dr. Johnny, tell us a little bit about yourself and what will you be sharing?
Get good fast.
Well, for over 40 years, I've been doing natural health laboratory testing, and I've been helping my patients outside the laboratory, of course. I've been training medical doctors. The conference is important to me because I've helped a lot of people in the military, and of course, this is the Super Soldier Conference.
How many medical doctors do you think really take this guy seriously? As we'll see in a moment, he's talking about getting abducted by aliens and taken to the moon and shit. And where this guy got his medical knowledge from is apparently from gray aliens. Like they let him read their library about medicine or some crazy story.
Conference. And I think they're going to be a lot more open to the remedies that I have because they're natural, but it's out of the box, James. A lot of people don't do what I'm doing. It's totally unique what I do. But I go about laboratory tests based on your chemistry. So it's not a guessing game. I don't guess.
It could be. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert on these naturopathic doctors.
So
I didn't even know what that was.
Based on some of your own experiences, do you believe that super soldiers are real and why?
Well, absolutely, because I had an abduction experience.
Oh, here we go.
Now, James, I didn't have a choice in this, okay? I was running the laboratory back in the 80s and the early 90s. In 1989, they abducted me from my house. A bright light came when I came into the kitchen door. And next thing I knew, I was on the spaceship.
Whoa!
So
He was on the
I
spaceship.
learned firsthand on my own what it's like to be around Greys, to be around the military,
Mr.
to
Magoo with
hear,
Steve's
you know,
glasses.
what I call Nazis, because I heard German on this big mothership,
Yes,
and we're
deep state
in
attack
orbit
if it
around
happens.
the moon. So, you know, I think that's why it's so important to
It's
get the
on my
super
list,
soldiers'
Michael. That's
take
actually on my
this,
list.
because they're the only ones that can understand my story.
Yes, let's go, Alchemist.
Thank you. And that would go into the next question. So, you've spoken at many different events. Why do you think the Super Soldier Activation Conference is different than the others?
Well, this is special for me because
It's special
so
because
many
everybody's got
times,
superpowers.
The super soldiers have been ridiculed, and yet when their memory comes back, it's crystal clear exactly what happened, whether they're on the moon or some other planet or some other galaxy.
He's upset that people make fun of these super soldiers, none of which can show us their superpowers.
You know, but yet, who are they going to talk to about it? Nobody believes it. Nobody believed me when I had my abduction, and yet I can talk to the super soldiers. And this conference is very important to me because for one place we can all get together and share our experiences.
Yeah, they're going to have a wackadoo powwow.
Because the truth has been hidden, James, for so many years, and most people don't understand the truth. And so this conference is going to bring it all out, and I think it's going to liberate a lot of people because they're going to realize why they've been going through certain changes they've been going through. It's because maybe they were abducted in the past and have, you know, had their memory wiped, and now they're starting to remember it again. So
recovered memories, another trope of this thing.
Thank you. You know, Super Soldier people, Talk, Super Soldier Activation Conference, and Healing Soul Survivors, where all this is grassroots based. So I don't get any money from any kind of alphabet agency out there. I know some people.
Yeah, one of the interesting things is that James Rink's channel, even though he gets tons of views sometimes, is not monetized. And he uses that as a shield. Like, well, I don't get any money from doing my show. But if you go on his website, he's selling basically fake psychic enhancement devices and other total horse shit. Chill Station 7 with 5 says, sounds like some good acid. Yes, I agree.
Raise the gas, raise the gas, raise the cash.
He's going to go into more detail, Chill Station 7. He was on the moon with the gray aliens, and it's just, what a wackadoo.
Anyway, but the point is that these type of events are supported by people like you and the listeners. So we are dependent on you going to supersoldiercon.com and purchasing a ticket to make these events possible.
Yeah, so his channel's not monetized, but he runs these super soldier conventions. If you want to
see disclosure in the world, then you have to embody that. So we're doing that, Johnny, right?
And by the way, I mentioned that there's a guy named Weird Stories by Oki on YouTube, and what he did is he punked these guys. He studied all the super soldier lore, and then he went to James Rink and told him he was a super soldier. James Rink interviewed him, and people said that his story was the most accurate, best story of a super soldier. And all he did was like mix together a bunch of nonsense. Like they all have common tropes, like Nazi space people, like a breakaway civilization from the Nazis that have a moon base. So he threw that in. And then he said he was trained by a clone of Kevin Spacey. And these super soldier like community, they ate up this guy's story, and he just made it all up by reading some of the lore and mixing it all together.
Body disclosure, but then you can embody it too. Come on out to Super Soldier Con.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more because, you know, what I've been doing in natural health, you know, they said that I couldn't be cured for my disease that I had, and I had 3 life-threatening diseases, and they said that was impossible. And
imagine that.
I healed myself, found my own way, and also I found the hidden secrets of healing from the group mind of the Greys, because that's a whole nother topic.
The Greys
that
gave
I
him the secrets of healing. The Grey aliens
to share at the conference. And so that's very, very special because
They all rip off
the
Iron
Greys
Sky.
have
You
a
are
whole,
correct, Tales of the Sonic Blade.
database. It's both
Great
online
movie, by
and
the way.
real time and ESP, whatever you want to call it, but they're both all linked together. And so I'm going to share about that. And that's how I found some of my deepest healing secrets is from the group mind of the Greys.
Oh, the Greys gave him the healing secrets and the medical knowledge.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you. So let's go on to the next question. So tell us about the Master Survivor University. What exactly is that, and what do you teach there?
Okay, so in the early days,
And by the way,
the early 80s, I ran.
They all have some kind of shit to sell members of this community. It's very grifty, like the UFO community. They've all got a book or a course or some kind of wacky products, crystals and healing devices and all kinds of bullshit.
Davenport Laboratories, and Jim Davenport trained me, and this is in North Dallas. Okay. And in those days, we used to do training and seminars for medical doctors and, to teach them about the hair tissue mineral analysis and some of the other testing that we're doing. And so after a while, James, I got so tired of flying around to all these different places and setting up shop, hoping people will show up. But then I decided to start the university because they said, well, I still want to go to and learn. So now the medical doctors
jewelry that does miracles
can go
somehow.
to Master Survivor University, and they can
SuperSoldierCon.com. Yes,
if they complete.
It's a Super Soldier Con.
I have my own board of regents. I have my own
truth and advertising
and certifications that they have to pass through, and they will. They can become a doctor in the Natural Survivor University. Yeah. And so that's why I've offered that. So not only the medical doctors can get the training
thank
about
you, Biffer65.
these different lab
out.
tests,
Have a
but
good night.
also somebody can start up from fresh and start a whole new career. So the Master Survivor University is very dear to my heart, and I've started it since 2010.
And this is very grifty because a lot of these super soldier people think that they're survivors of a top secret program. And he's basically selling a course in how to be a master survivor and heal from your trauma and all of this stuff. It's very predatory and grifty.
And so, of course, you pay and you get your coursework, and I tutor you and all through that process. And it is actually a degree. You get a master's degree, and then you get your doctorate degree. You start off as an apprentice. So it is actually...
Okay, this guy's giving out master's degrees. He's giving out fake master's degrees. He's giving out doctorate degrees to people that take his courses. So this is one of those bullshit. He gives you a fancy certificate you can hang on your wall and fool your stupid friends. Look, I'm a doctor now.
Actually, a university. I've got my seal and everything, but it's not recognized by anybody like you, James.
It's not recognized by anybody. Oh, you mean it's an unaccredited bullshit fake degree? Yeah, great.
I'm not, affiliated with any 3-letter agencies or big money or big pharma or anything else.
Big BS
I'm doing
degrees.
My own thing, and that way my secrets and my coursework and all the truths that I'm revealing can stay pure.
Wow, that's amazing. So why don't you tell the audience a little bit more about this hair tissue mineral analysis?
Absolutely.
How does that work, and how will attendees benefit from understanding their own mineral imbalances?
He's selling people this.
Well, absolutely, because
this is crazy.
That is, I've got over 40 years of experience in the HTMA, which is the hair tissue mineral analysis. And I probably know, I've been trained from the people who founded it and started. Jim Davenport put it on the map in Davenport Laboratories that I ran.
Even the dude interviewing him thinks this is BS.
That's what I train the medical doctors and the other people
on like in deception scam.
So all we need is a clump of hair,
con.
And from that we can tell your exact chemistry based on your mineral of what's inside your cells and what's flowing around in your bloodstream, and from that we can determine
same school Douglas Dietrich got
what is
his
going
degrees
on
from.
with your hormones, with your sugar levels. I've helped a lot of diabetics get off insulin. I'm not, and I want to say this right now. I'm not
And by the
practicing
way,
medicine. I don't profess to have any cure.
he's telling people that he could cure diseases. Do not go to a quack whack doctor like this who's handing people fake degrees for money. Do not do that. If you are suffering from any medical problem, please consult a qualified, professional, accredited, real doctor who went to medical school. Cave Teeth says, no one cared who I was until I put on the glasses. I'm stealing that, but thank you. You guys are making it rain up in here. It's an unexpected windfall today. Sometimes when we do these shows, the support is super, super slow. So thank you all very much.
But what I can do is help you walk through and coach you on exactly what you got to do based on your hair mineral tissue analysis. And with that, a lot of things just clear up from people.
He just described blood work.
Doing the program the way it's designed.
Yeah, but he does it with hair and a tissue sample
program,
somehow.
And the main component is the hair tissue mineral analysis.
Trying to steal my look.
When they follow that, all
similar
kinds of
glasses.
Things
Mine
clear
are
up.
different, really.
So all I can do is coach you on the diet because it is, foods are medicine, medicines are food, and that's where the
yes,
that's
his
the way
medical
the
advice is right
Master
up there with
Program
David
works.
Wilcock
That's the way
recommending
the hair
horse
tissue mineral
dewormers.
analysis works because that test, as you know, James.
Oh
got
yeah,
the
let's
test.
get the land grab.
I'm
going to build a cult compound of my own.
Based on
the
your
Sonic
chemistry,
Voyage.
and then certain other foods
I'm
that
building
you
a
need
cult
to increase
compound.
on, all based on your chemistry. So one person may have a different.
Yeah, he's basically describing the information you could get from a regular blood test. But okay, and I just want to say I've already assigned Spooky and H-Bomb. You might know H-Bomb. He's the guy that makes all the gay clips for us. Like he takes DSP and turns them gay. He takes David Wilcock and turns them gay with his Gayinator 2000 software. I have assigned Spooky and H-Bomb to Slave Labor Plot 1. And I'm going to expect them to arrive soon and build their own shelter. They get Slave Labor Plot 1. They got to hurry up and build their own shelter. And then I got to put them to work moving boulders around, right? Bring some rope, bitches. Got a lot of boulders to move. We're going to need our own slave labor force to build this cult compound. I can't do it alone, so...
test than another, and they may have a totally different diet than the other. But what's right is by following what's right by their chemistry. And then that way they can recover from just about any disease that...
Last minute Lacey is joining the cult compound. So, no backseas.
That was over 30-something years ago in 1992.
Yeah.
I'm obviously
Lacey,
still around.
I'm sure my wife would love it if just a bunch of random strangers, including women she doesn't know, just started moving over there. She did say, my wife is like kind of opposed to this idea. She's like, it's an awful lot of money for you to play adult Lincoln Logs. And I'm like, it's not about that. So last minute Lacey, when I first started building the other cabin, she said she wasn't interested. She's like, well, if you want a place like that, go ahead, but I'm not going to stay there. And she warmed up to it. She came there and she saw the state parks and the lakes and there's Bushkill Falls right near my cabin. If you ever get a chance, Bushkill Falls is absolutely beautiful. It costs like $10 to get in or whatever, but it's totally worth it. It's like the biggest falls in the Pocono Mountains, the biggest waterfalls. They're beautiful. So she warmed up to the other cabin. She'll warm up to this one, but maybe not if there's strange women. Not that you're strange. You know what I mean. Women she doesn't know. I just called last minute Lacey strange. Damn. Insert foot here. You know what I mean, last minute Lacey. My wife would be like, who's this bitch living on your property, right? Great help with kids. If you like cleaning and that, she might just consent to a third wife, right? Second wife. I'm sorry, I don't have a second one yet. Yeah. We joke about that sometimes. We were watching that Sister Wives show one time. And I said, I can't imagine living like that. Could you imagine? I asked my wife, could you imagine living with me if I had like a bunch of other wives? She said, I'd be okay with it if they like cleaning the house, so I wouldn't have to do it anymore. I'm like, really? Shit.
And they were wrong. And that's the only way I get patients these days is just by word of mouth and referrals. Because many times
That's
they say, well, look,
exactly correct.
if you can't do any more.
The last blood test I had, for whatever reason, I think it was because it was the middle of winter and I wasn't getting much exercise. I wasn't going outside much. I had a vitamin D deficiency that was identified by a blood test. Like I was severely deficient in vitamin D. So they put me on a supplement. Blood tests are good. If your doctor orders one, get one. You can find out a lot from them.
Insurance anymore. You need to talk to Dr. Johnny because they told him he was going to die. And they, and so I get patients that are on their deathbed saying, what do I do now? And so that way I help them. So
this is how grifty this gets. This guy is taking terminal patients' money for his medical advice that he got, and by his own admission, he got his medical knowledge from gray aliens. And did you hear him? He gets many terminal patients. He is taking money from terminally ill people and giving them medical advice that he got from gray aliens.
Help them all ages. I got some that are farmers here that, one guy's just harvesting his wheat. And he's in his 20s, and then I got others in their 80s and 90s, and then I got others in their 50s and 60s.
Not an asshole,
so it doesn't
like
matter.
Qaeda,
the chemistry is the key.
Baldo
chemistry
cabin. Yes.
All. And that's what we go by.
No, you
it's
know what?
Not a guessing game.
If we get enough slaves on the cult compound, we could start a Baldo factory. Forget a Baldo cabin. We'll have a Baldo factory. Void it, Bart Shitten. Baldo factory. We can make a lot of money selling Baldos on the internet.
James, I go by your chemistry.
Sounds
totally
scientific.
Okay, so let's go on to the next question. Now, you've helped. Okay, so we got that. So tell us, what message do you have to someone who feels overwhelmed about their health? They're in a chronic state of illness, and they just feel like it's too late to heal.
The chronological age has nothing to do with it. That's all fake news, okay? They try to, that's why if you remember my video, right now they're trying to talk you into assisted suicide. There's people in their teens and in their 20s getting assisted suicide. That's crazy. That's total mind control. And I'm not any part of it. I'm the master survivor. I have the master survivor program, the master survivor university. I'm saying you can survive. All you got to do is do a few tests and let me do your consultations and and they can always get premium consultation, James, if they want. They have to pay me money, but I'll work with them for 2 years or a year or 3 years, however much they pay me. And then we'll make sure you get past all your healing plateaus and all your problems. Nothing's ever hopeless. The body is a miracle machine and it can repair itself. All it needs is the right food.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Okay.
That sounds
so I'm
totally
scientific. Repeat the question from earlier. So first person to guess why he is called Dr. Delirious and answers correctly will receive a 25% off coupon for the conference.
Oh, discount bullshit
coupon.
Go ahead and,
awesome. Make your best guess.
Discount bullshit
Okay, so
coupon.
Next question. How does reclaiming your
What a
health...
great interviewer. No, here's our next question. Here's our next question.
Health connect to reclaiming your spiritual mission?
Oh, that's so key because see, we are spiritual bodies. They say we're electrical beings or spiritual beings, and we have this physical body, but it's connected to that electrical, spiritual
heal me,
energy.
Aliens.
And so they work hand in hand. We have our biofield, and then we have our physical body. So it's key to get the physical body balanced because then you're more in tune with your electrical, spiritual.
That's very
field.
sad, Anna. He's
and
taking
then
advantage
when
of
you
people.
get both of those balanced, then all of a sudden
spiritual field balancing,
James. with
Sounds like
synergy,
bullshit.
we're at one with the universe. Or
Sounds
if
like
you're
bullshit.
a very spiritual and religious person, you're one with God. Your prayers are going to be heard more clearly. So
I want a discount
just going
bullshit
out on a
coupon,
limb
says
here
Al
for a little
Garay.
bit, but really the super soldiers understand
Dr.
this
Delusional.
because they know
Yes.
we have spiritual
Spooky
bodies.
says, let's
but
hit
they
the
also
goal.
know we have this physical body
let's
too.
hit the goal.
And then the mind is right in between.
8 more.
So
8 more
when
super
we balance
chats.
the minerals in our
Let's
body,
hit the goal. Let's
then
go.
that gets our mind working correctly. And of course, I got the microbiome test, the stool test that I do. We get the microbiome balance. That's your gut-brain connection.
That's another thing.
And
he wants you to send him a lock of your hair. Get this. He wants you to send him a lock of your hair, and he wants you to take a shit in a bag and send him a stool sample. This guy is collecting people's shit on the internet. 2 people escaped the mental ward. Yes! Yes! Let's go! These are some quality wackadoos. Somebody said slop earlier. This is not slop. These are these are 2 of the best wackadoos the internet has to offer. And we're giving them to you both. And I even have a bonus wackadoo. If we hit the goal, we're going to go into another wackadoo. I think she's a psychic wackadoo. And then we'll check out their conference webpage and we'll show you some of the wackadoos that you could see and we'll find out how much it is. Lock of hair, that's some witchcraft. Yeah. What's he doing with the shit? For all we know, this guy's got a poop fetish, right? He might have one of them poop fetishes, this dude. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right.
when that's working, then everything is balanced and we have true synergy, and we're not only in connection with all of our other realms, our other bodies, and our other spiritual parts of ourselves, but we also have a tranquility. We have peace of mind because, suicides are up. And, my whole goal is to help you be healthy.
I'll check it
and
out. Thank
stay
you,
healthy,
Magister
and that's
Templey.
both mental health and physical health.
I like books on health and wellness. I'll check it out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question.
I felt a lot better
Are you
once I started
planning
taking
on
that supplement.
offering
I was
any kind of
feeling like
private
run down.
sessions, assessments, or consultations at the event?
Here's where it gets grifty.
Well, I will.
Are you going to do private consultations for people at the event? There's always, by the way, if you ever go to a UFO convention, there's always add-ons, right? Like, for example, I can only speak from my own experience, but there was a UFO convention in Philadelphia, and I'm not gonna give too many details, but I just want to make a point. So I got gifted. The organizer was friendly with me, even though I'm very skeptical. He likes my show. He watches it and laughs because I make fun of a lot of people that are kind of his competition, and it wasn't really making fun of him. But anyway, I went to this weekend convention, and there was people like Linda Moulton Howe there, and Mike Barra, the moon grifter guy. Structures on the moon. No, they're not. Anyway, there was all these add-ons. So I think it was like $400 to go to the conference. I got given a free ticket, and I went. I didn't go every day. I went one day. I was like, this is gay. I'm not going back tomorrow. But anyway, when I was there, they have like extra goodies. Like, oh, for $150, you could have lunch with Linda Moulton Howe tomorrow. And stuff like that. Or, oh, a private presentation by whoever, one of these UFO celebrity grifters for $200, $300. Each of the grifters have this add-on package. So not only do they hit you for a few $100s just to get into the convention, then they hit you for a few more $100 so that you could spend a little time with your favorite grifter. Chill Station 7, this is pure keto. Please do more like this. And he definitely has a scat fetish. That's what it's called. I couldn't remember it. I'm not good at. I thought it was called a poop fetish, shit fetish. I don't know, right? Has a friend that's into that. Like he likes. No, his is urine. I'm sorry. He likes to. All right, we're getting too in the woods here. Let's not talk about pee fetishes and squirting and scat fetish.
Consultation.
Oh, wait, I forgot though. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
Let us praise it and praise it well, friends. And we're going to give some shout outs. Scopely CFO is over in the Kick Live chat. Wacky Shucks is there. G McFly is there. Blazing Mad, Ethan Ralph, Straving Cat is over there. Ethan Ralph's Starving Cat. Is that what it is? No, it's Straving Cat. Whatever. Scopely CFO. Sot WLF is there. Blazing Mad. Hockage of the Hill. Ray Gunner. FF9000. Scopely CFO I mentioned. And Soul WLF. Mewtwo XV Real just celebrated their subscription for 5 months. Praise the cash, bitches! Mewtwo XV Real, thank you very much for your kindness, generosity, and support. And for those unaware, we read out all the support on Kick as well. Look at that. iLeveler became a subscriber. And we've got Rex Racer became a subscriber only on Kick. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. And thank you for the support over on Kick. Much, much appreciated. This is a general thank you to all of you. Thank you, Chill Station 7. And thank you to the Kick supporters.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
I hope my son's not watching. That's my son, my youngest son, Xavier, who's very interested in, like puppets and clowns and magic and being a performer maybe someday. I'm trying to get him to go into something better. But every time, once in a while, he'll put one of my shows on YouTube, which I think my wife really doesn't like because, sometimes we're pretty foul-mouthed here talking about stuff like scat, fetishes. Anyway, when he checks in on the show, if he sees that I'm playing those bumpers, he tries to hit me up for more money. Trolley troll for the John C. ticket to David Wilcox live event. We're going to try to work that out. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
And thank you, Kick supporters. Much, much appreciated.
There is one caveat because without the test and the chemistry, it's only a guessing game. Okay. See, once I get your hair, or once that we do your stool test, then it's no longer a guessing game. I can give you fact, exactly what needs to be done based on your test.
Yeah, after I sniff your shit.
I can coach them. And
send me your shit in a box.
But basically,
send me a box of shit. I got a scat fetish.
And I can't offer the test at a cheaper rate, James. I have to pay the laboratory.
It's not tax-free,
I can't
bitch.
Discount. My hair tissue mineral analysis is $226 in cash or a check. And on the website, of course, I have it for $236. You could use a credit card. So if you get any of those at the conference, of course, then I will give you an extra consultation or whatever, because I do charge for premium consultation.
Yeah, I charge for my premium consultation. Yo, if you're going to the Super Soldier Con convention, it's so funny. Look, supersoldiercon.com. At least they're being honest. It's like Alien Con. There used to be a UFO convention called Alien Con. And I just laughed every year when I saw the posters. Alien Con, pretty accurate. Super Soldier Con, pretty accurate. Anyway, could you imagine going to the Super Soldier convention and then you meet this guy and you pay him the $220? Do you just shit in a box, right? Like, is he going to give you a box to shit in right at the convention? Do you shit in a bag? Do you bring your own plastic bag? Do you got to shit in front of the guy? Maybe that's what he gets off on. This is so bizarre. He wants you to shit in a box and he wants a lock of your hair.
And, so I will have a discount on consultations and everything.
He needs to personally sniff it to know what to subscribe.
We're a couple months away, so I'm still working that out.
Great, thank you. So we have a winner, and it's Sage. So thank you, Sage. The answer is Because
he doesn't like
doctors
the
once
SP. He
told
says
him
he begs
was
too much. He would
delirious
never watch
when he
him game.
refused a
And he
liver
watches some
transplant due
gaming
to his
streamers.
hepatitis C and psoriasis, opting to
You pay him to
pursue
send
alternative
a
recovery
hair, and
methods
then you get a
instead. So
curse.
thank you, Sage. Send me an email. I will put the details in the
Do
description.
you know,
And,
I once dated this girl that was like, I guess she claimed she was Wiccan. This is when I was very young. I think I was like 19 or 20. And, you know, the girl was hot. So just like, yeah, you're a witch? What do you mean? Like a Wiccan girl? Yeah, okay. All right. You got superpowers, or like, what do you do? You know, I worship nature. And she did all these stupid, you know, she had all the, I guess, witchcraft books and stuff. But anyway, she was crazy about that. Last Minute Lacey, she would burn, if she got her hair cut, she would take it with her and burn it. Same for nail clippings. She was always paranoid that somebody was going to get some of her nail clippings or hair, because then apparently or allegedly people can cast spells on you. I don't know if I believe that.
we'll do another little pop quiz and an upcoming interview. So we'll go.
You know, as far as age, you know, this whole age
Yeah.
thing, listen, age has
Why are the
nothing to
glasses
do
all the way
with
on
your
the top
health.
of his head?
If you balance your minerals, I don't care what age you are. I'm over 70, okay? So I'm still running every day. I'm still going to the gym every day.
They're nowhere near his ears
knock
where
on
they should
wood,
be.
you know.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm
Yeah.
doing the best I
Stormcrow
can.
says he
you know,
has
with
to
a lot of
taste
these
your
things,
stool
but,
sample
you
to know for
they
sure.
told me that I would never do anything, and I wouldn't live past 1992. And then I had this dementia problem. Well, I got rid of the dementia too. I had an addiction problem. Well, I got rid of the addiction. And I've helped people get rid of dementia, addictions, you know,
This is
balance
why
their
hair is
minerals,
added
get
to
rid of
voodoo
different
dolls.
diseases.
If you say so.
But I don't practice medicine. I
Minute
just coach
Lacey,
you on
I
what
don't
you
know.
need to eat based on your laboratory test.
All right,
Okay.
24 of 30. Six
So
more to
let's
get
see
to
here. Let's go to the
overtime.
next question. What's something you're going to share at the conference that you've never shared publicly before?
Oh, one thing I do want to share that I've never been able to share before is in my abduction. See, I was taken to a mothership that was in orbit around the moon. So I never did really share because a lot
Wait,
of
he was taken to a mothership that's in orbit around the moon. And this is where I have a problem. I have a huge problem with people who make these claims, because I know the real astronomy and the real science. And here it is. There's thousands, tens of thousands of amateur astronomers. Hear that? Ooh. Geez, thundering pretty good outside. There's tens of thousands of amateur astronomers, and somebody would see a mothership in orbit around the moon. There is lunar orbiter satellites that would see that. But this guy's just going to stand there and say, yeah, I got taken to a mothership around the moon.
times I ran out of time. I never did share what I saw on the moon. I never did share what I saw.
Last Minute Lacey,
really.
I forgot to mention to you that I saw your channel and I watched, you know, pinned right at the top, you have something about being alone or something, a video about that. It was one of your popular videos. I watched that, and that's a good video. It's everybody feels that way. So check out Lacey's channel.
Inside the ship, because James, I'm different than everybody else.
We all feel
They
that
let
way
me
sometimes.
Wander all around the ship. They put a chip in my finger. And
Stormcrow with one for the goal. Yes, 5 more,
so
friends.
They're monitoring my brain signal,
5
and
more.
I think they just let me go loose and let me wander around, and they're monitoring my brain.
They monitored his brain while he was on the mothership, friends,
because they wanted to figure out how my brain worked. Because
thank you, Stormcrow.
At that time, I was under the influence.
5 more to go. 5 more super chats, and we get overtime. WACKADOO.
I had to do cocaine to keep me going because I love the laboratory business. But a little bump kept me going. It didn't work anymore. But that's when they abducted me.
He was doing cocaine when he got abducted by aliens. Did you hear that? He just said it out loud. He said the quiet part out loud. I was doing a lot of cocaine, and then I got abducted by the aliens while I was doing cocaine. Ha ha! Cocaine is a very powerful drug, friends.
They're thinking, how can this guy be running a laboratory doing coke every day, not get arrested by the police? We got to figure out what makes him tick. So they abducted me, and once they put that implant in me,
it's real, Kenny.
Signal,
it is
then
real.
They let me just wander around the ship. And I saw all
yes, he just
stuff.
admitted.
And they
doing cocaine
brain activity and what else
while he was abducted by aliens. He was doing cocaine, friend.
So I'll probably share more about that and more about sitting there with
Chill Station 7. He sure did his fair share of drugs back in the day. I believe.
And I've never been able to read it. It's in my book, The Master Survivor, Beyond PhD. It's in my book.
He's got a book to sell.
Most people don't have my book, and I'm going to bring copies of that book there for
Tales
sale.
of the Silent Voyage. I think he's still doing a lot of drugs.
Thank you very much. Okay, I do have a few more questions, but I promise these will all be easy ones. So, how important is it for people to be in a room full of others going through the same kind of similar experiences in this time of awakening?
I think right now we're at a real crucial time in our history and our development in our country.
Here's the crystal. The crystal hippie bitch comes on to help sell the conference. Please join us in Orlando, Florida this October 8th to 12th, 2025 for the Super Soldier Activation Conference. SuperSoldierCon.com. We're going to check out the website, friends. It's going to be a laugh riot. Wait till you see the titles of the people that are going to be speaking at the conference.
A lot of people are scared. A lot of people don't know really what's going on. I do a radio show every Sunday, so I keep up to date with exactly what's going on.
Those guys on the radio? My God.
Administration's doing, what they're doing around the world. And it's important for people to hear some answers because a lot of the super soldiers know things that most people don't know. And so it's important for them to get their take on it because that's kind of like unfiltered, so to speak. Because a lot of times when any of us go on doing these interviews, a lot of times we're cut off on this or that. We can't ever finish the story. But at the conference, you can actually talk to us. You can talk to me. You can sit there at the booth. And I'll be happy to talk to you about all this and talk to you about my... But mainly...
Yeah, he'd be happy to sit at his booth where he's selling books and shit tests, right? And you can talk to me. Like, this is some big privilege. You want money to talk to people, you lunatic.
On the speech, and you told me...
Dr. Delirious. Dr. Delusional.
I could speak for 2 hours. Well, I'm going to speak for 2 hours and tell everybody exactly... about my abduction, how I came about, and founded and developed the Master Survivor program.
Stormcrow says, "Let's go."
And
4 more.
I didn't, and because of that, I'm the Master Survivor, and I have the Master Survivor program to help anybody recover from just about any kind of disease. But they have to make a decision to become a Master Survivor. That's the key. And once they do that, then I can do them the premium consultation and things, and we can really work with them.
After they buy my initial bullshit, I could sell them more bullshit.
Great, thank you. If someone only remembers one thing from your speech, what do you think
I'm sorry, 3 more for the goal. 3 more super chats.
When I do
and
this
we get
speech,
an overtime wackadoo.
Remember what it is to become a Master Survivor, what it is to become, because I've got the Master Survivor Show,
Stormcrow, long-time show
Master
supporter.
Survivor University, and the Master Survivor Program. And, anywhere you look on the internet, there's only one Johnny Delirious. There's only one Master Survivor. There's only one laboratory naturopathic doctor.
What great
There's
value.
only one. That's me. And I did this. This is all from my laboratory experience. In the
Oh,
early
wait a
days,
minute. He just said,
James,
I gotta back
I
it
wrote
up.
articles. I did peer review articles.
He just said he's the
and
only.
the Master Survivor program.
He just said he's the only naturopathic doctor. No, that's a thing.
And you know,
Oh, he's the only laboratory naturopathic doctor.
anywhere you look on the internet, there's only one Johnny Delirious. There's only one Master Survivor. There's only one laboratory naturopathic doctor. There's only one. That's me.
Yeah, so he put two words together and calls himself unique. There's plenty of naturopathic and homeopathic doctors, though.
And
I don't consider them real doctors, but, do as thou wilt, I suppose.
I did this. This is all from my laboratory experience. In the early days, James, I wrote articles. I did peer review articles and sent out articles on my laboratory testing. And some people would complain. They said, well, you're not citing any of your sources. I said, look, I am the source. This is from what I found in the laboratory. This,
Yeah, people are like, you don't have real sources. He's like, I am the sources. I am the source. And Fern Ambulax, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you here. Thank you for your kindness. With one for the goal. This idiot thinks the dark side of the moon is always dark. In a previous interview, and they have to keep the lights on there all the time. What a fucking moron. I'm a doctor, right?
Raise the cash, raise the cash, raise the cash.
I'm a doctor. I made my own degree. He said. He made his. If you make your own degree or you're selling your own degrees, you're not a. Thank you and praise the cash. Oh, we seem to be, I don't know, lightning and thunder out there. We might have a power failure. Again, if I de-res and I don't come back in a few minutes, you'll know why. Whose forehead makes a better landing strip, Wilcock or Rink? Yeah, what is it with these guys with the big fucking head? But thank you for your kindness.
Raise the cash, 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 raise the cash.
And did we hit the goal? We hit the goal. We're going to have an overtime wackadoo today. Not just regular wackadoo. Overtime special wackadoo. I'm glad I got it ready.
Me. They use me as a source. So it's real important to understand that the Master Survivor program, the Master Survivor University,
He's doing the hard sell here.
that whole thing came about because the doctors told me I was going to die. It was that ridicule that kept me going to find.
This is so grifty because he's basically looking for people that are dying to buy his bullshit.
The real secrets of good health. And it was that ridicule that made me go back into the group mind of the Greys and actually figure out what it is that
just
makes
looks
our
totally
body
bored,
tick
right?
and make the chemistry
Totally
work.
phoning in this
Everything
interview.
I learned in the laboratory. That ridicule drove me on, and I became the Master Survivor.
Thank you, Dr. Johnny, and thank you, audience members. Thank you, Sage, and everybody that participated in this live stream. I look forward to meeting you all in October. Again, it's October 8th to the 12th. Go to supersoldiercon.com. Purchase your ticket. We do have. I went ahead and upgraded all the silver passes. So
look at
now
that.
they're just gold passes. 4 days of meals, your admission, and also you get a free T-shirt. Or you can just do
you get a
general
free
admission
T-shirt
passes.
with your bullshit. You
The
get a
prices
free
will
T-shirt.
be going up.
Oh, absolutely. Get them now.
August 8th. I'm going to have to raise the prices again. And we need some vendors. If you know anybody that wants to vend, we have an affiliate program. You can sign up and promote it on your social medias and earn some money.
Oh, maybe I ought to do ads for
cover your
them.
way to get there. So
Sell their
everybody
con.
go to supersoldiercon.com, and this is your time to step
supersoldiercon.com. I
outside the
love it.
matrix. So come out to Orlando and
Step
you'll
outside
Dr.
the
Johnny Delirious,
matrix. Listen
many
to the
others who have
tagline.
survived, awakened, and activated. So go to supersoldiercon.com. This is more than a conference; it is a movement. Any final comments?
Well, I'm just saying, if you want to contact me before the conference, I'll be there. See me at the conference, but you can always go to themastersurvivor.com and send me a note if you need any help from me. Themastersurvivor.com.
Yo, do you think this guy is dumb enough to come on my show? Like, maybe we could private this and I'll book this guy on the show and I'll just fucking grill him. Who wants to see that? I'll do it. I will do it. You're not even a real fucking doctor, you liar! You're preying on dying people.
Great, thank you, everybody. Thank you for supporting the channel with your donation.
No, he's buddy with James Rink. James Rink will warn him off.
You can go to.
And by the way, for those unaware, there is a list going around for that the grifters, they pass it around and they tell people whose show you shouldn't go on. And guess who's first on the list? Pussies. What a bunch of pussies, right? What a bunch of pussies. And Mike Larry is here. I haven't seen Mike Larry's account in quite some time. Good to see you, Mike Larry. And welcome. Gifted 10 True Seekers memberships. Praise to cash. Praise to cash. Hallelujah. This is what you do. Smash that subscribe button, because when a kind and generous person like Mike Larry or Robert P. come here and give these memberships, you can win one. And all of these people, Swore to Cat Jicky got a free membership from Mike Larry. Nick Mullen, Hid Drama 101, Christina Diaz, M. Bode got a free membership. Devin got a free membership. Strober Dole got a free membership. Swamp Hermit, sounds like my kind of guy. Sedge Masters, Rogue Trooper, all these people got a free membership thanks to the kindness, generosity, and the support of Mike Larry, who I haven't seen in quite some time, but I'm sure happy to see back. Mike Larry is a longtime show supporter and a big dono bomber. Thank you, Mike Larry. We appreciate you. Thanks for appreciating us. And I just want to mention that these people that give them memberships are doing a service to not just the show here, but the whole community, because then people can sample all of the members only videos. And a lot of people, once they get the gifted membership, the next month they decide to join. So thank you, Mike Larry, for expanding our community and helping the show.
Praise the gas, praise the gas, praise the gas.
All right, let's finish this one up, and then we're going to do our overtime wackadoo.
HealingSoulSurvivors.org. We do need to raise some more money for the event, so I do need your donations, or you can purchase tickets. Thank you. So that's HealingSoulSurvivors.org. You can also go to the, I'll have to put the LifeWave link in there. Go purchase some LifeWave
if you were having problems in your life, would you go to either of these two wackadoos for help healing? I don't think so.
They will help bring light into your body, and this light will help raise your frequency to help transmute the see, we have to be careful what to say on here and on YouTube, but it will help bring balance into your body. So it's a biophotomodulation
device. That's what James Rinks is selling on his website.
Process.
Sounds like bullshit to me.
The LifeWave patches. Thank you all for those who have been purchasing those.
Come one, come all. It's a great conference.
Yeah, thank you. And Sage, I appreciate that. Oh, we also may be going to Universal on the Monday afterwards, so you may want to.
Oh, you get to hang out at Universal Studios.
Hotel booking
with all your
September
wackadoo
8th.
friends and the other super soldiers.
You get all that stuff booked before then.
Don't they still have like a Marvel show at the Universal Studios, like an Avengers show with guys in costumes? Are the super soldiers from the conference going to fight the Marvel characters? I'd pay money to see that.
And we all thank you for your time. We'll see you in Orlando.
Thank you, James.
Oh, yeah. So stay tuned for this message.
Welcome to the conference. Look at this. Oh my God, it's so bad. It's so bad, it's good. said slop.
My Lord, welcome to the conference. The Super Soldier Conference. Help.
It's a banger.
I'm your host for tonight.
So realistic. Look at the Super Soldier.
October of 2025 will be a landmark event in the cosmos.
Yes, thank you, Mike Larry.
We place our trust in you. Life is no good without friends.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
For the world to know, we gotta let it show. My Lord, we shall be.
I just want to mention, the Sabretooth, that's one of their code words, and it's also a Marvel character, and wouldn't you know it, he has basically the same powers as Sabretooth and Wolverine from the Marvel comics. He's got a healing factor and shit.
With you for unity.
I don't know about you, but this is selling it for me. This is really selling this conference. It's a banger, yeah! No, this is it. This is what they're using to advertise the Super Soldier
Service
Con.
to others. Service to others. Service to self. Come on.
Yeah! What a banger!
Oh yeah.
Somehow, it's not racist. It's a gospel choir. It's a gospel choir, damn it. It's not racist, Chill Station. Chill Station 7 said it's racist. No, it's not. It's just special guest Charlie Murphy. I'm Rick James, bitch. How much for a consult? $275, I think he said, Anna Louisa. And if you want to get your shit tested, that's $230. $230 for the poop test, and then $200+ for you gotta get a consultation about your poop. After he sniffs it and tastes it, he'll be able to tell you a lot more, right? I have to queue up this next one. All right, we're going to share this now. And again, we're citing fair use. We're educating the public. All right, so this one is, I forgot what it is. Oh, Spruce Pine Alien Festival readings with Tamara Richardson. This woman does alien festival readings, and she's another fucking wackadoo. So, and you know what I love? These people are psychic. They have superpowers. This woman can't work a green screen. Like, her settings are all off. So, like, when she puts her hand up, it's like de-resed and stuff. Like, the green screen is bleeding through. I love it.
Stage medium. I've done it in front of like 35,000 people at convention center. So I do a lot of stuff. So you could also do this online. It works just as well. If you can't go to Spruce Pine, you can see me at the Academy of DivineWisdom.com, and you can look under services and you can get it there. Okay, now who wants what? Who is it?
Let's see if we can do
Academy of Divine Wisdom.
Pull the plug on the show because my family's coming over. So let's see here. We've got anybody? I see people.
Yeah, more like James Rink's mom is in the background going, "Would you get off the internet? It's almost time for dinner, James. We're having company."
Okay.
It's gonna do live readings. See how
we can do this one? Maybe
green screen is all fucked.
If not, well, don't push it on people. I mean, it has to be a real nice flow. But if not, I mean, your mother did pass. I can.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Maybe he doesn't live with his mom.
Does she have a message?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I hadn't gone there yet. I asked permission.
Treasurer.
Oh my God, this woman is going to talk to James Rink's recently departed mother live on his show. Great.
Or MUFON in North Carolina.
She what?
Yeah, she was in MUFON. She was a treasurer.
Really? What
Yeah.
about really? Did she know? I wonder if she knew my sister-in-law who used to be the secretary or did a lot of work for MUFON, Ginger Richardson.
Maybe send me a photo because that was like the early 2000s when that was going on.
Okay, that might have been the same time. And also, she was in an HBO thing. I don't know if you or anyone watching or today has seen it. It was the Bud Hopkins, and he did it. It was an HBO thing, and where he was meeting this lady in New York. People saw her like hovering up into the sky. Ginger's in that photo with all. Oh my God, we were watching it, and we were like, "Oh my God, that's your sister!" And we. It was like we didn't expect that, but
oh
she's
no,
in that
come
HBO
on, lady,
thing.
says Ty.
So, do you want me to read you, or do you want me to read someone here?
Come say hi to
I
your
guess
grandma.
just put a reading on me since we're still waiting.
Okay, and Shelley says she wants, but she didn't define. Do you want a galactic reading, or do you want
galactic reading,
evidential or psychic reading about your life? So, let me know.
I'd like to know my connection
Okay.
to Perseus and Atlantis as a general. Yeah. Can you pull up you muted yourself, the files from Atlantis? Because it seems like we were there, like there was a group of us demigods there, right? And
okay, now who is it?
Perseus, Atlantis, but it looks like we left. We time traveled to Egypt to escape the cataclysms.
We didn't time travel. We were a lot of us were fish beings. I was in Atlantis. I was actually did a whole presentation on this. I've had over 400 hours of past life now. I can just kind of go there in quietness. But I was I was from Sirius B, and I was half. I was not a mermaid. They're mainly from Palladius. We were from Sirius B, the fish type people, and I could
it was a fish
transform, if you want to call it, into not only human but into other life forms. I could shapeshift, and so I could move. I had the ability to go from on the earth or the beach or what have you in the ocean and live equally both, which was very rare. Most could only live primarily in the ocean. And then I had abilities. Part of the abilities, when you're a high priestess, which I was over Atlantis, and I was in charge of portals and the, if you want to call it alchemy, which I remember actually talked about how that's done and the elements and how we created a portal. And we can use it for energy or for communication or for healing or for many things. That goes into sound frequency and different things depending on what you're trying to achieve. But to be a high priestess, I also trained the others. I was an oracle, and we were with one. I had a tiger as a pet. We were one with animals, and I could actually touch it, and my arms start turning into like the stripes and so forth. But you had to go through basically in your death experience to conquer different states of consciousness, and that could be done whether you're put into a tar pit and covered, but they're all crocodiles around, but you just slow down your breathing, and you were covered in tar, but you were in this swamp with the crocodiles, or you could be put in a cave and the oxygen be depleted. You don't know what kind of critters are in there. And you had to calm yourself down and be mastery over that. So that's one of the things we did. But what we did is there were cave systems there, and a lot of us could shape shift. We had abilities. We were less human there. We had different incarnations which is a whole different thing. The origins of they weren't entirely human. So we went into cave systems. Not all of us made it. Some didn't want to make it.
This is a higher gear of crazy.
Into Atlantis. Yes, it went many places. It was multiple Atlantises. But from my timeline, what I remember, we ended up making it to Egypt, but we did live in the cave systems for a while, and some stayed there.
How's a fish bitch living in a cave?
Now is Argathia.
Was there a lake in the cave that the fish bitch
Before we get to another question, because I want to at least get one from the chat.
Okay.
Let's try to make it real quick, because there's a couple more here. Let's see if we can throw a couple of these in. So Miranda Anderson is asking if they were in the secret space program.
Let me get it. Tell me where she's from. Let me lock in on her location.
Okay, Miranda. Yeah, I guess we're gonna need that info. But I had a pet saber tooth. It was a pair, male female couple, saber-toothed tiger as a pet in Lemuria. So I was doing like fishes and
Yeah.
rescues. That's kind of
Yeah, they didn't need us back then. We were like all God long.
James Rink said that he had a pair of saber-toothed tigers for pets. They were a pair, a male and a female. He just said that he had saber-toothed tigers for pets in Lemuria. And for those unaware, Lemuria is like Atlantis, mythical city,
Kind of crazy.
Yeah. And those, they're like 3 times bigger than our tigers today. So they're big.
There is something by a lady named Karen. Was the aquatic being you were called in Atlantis a Murin? Well, I was told we were called Aquarians, not mer people, Aquarians. Aqua and Arians being old or the elders.
Arians.
So we were the
Nazi
elders
shit.
of the water. We were also part of.
She was a Nazi fish
but it
bitch.
is what it is.
She was
We
an
were part of the
Aryan
Dagon
fish.
legacy. The
Aqua-Aryan.
Philistines worshiped for like 3,000 years the fish people, and there are still rumor that fish people are in certain ports like in Maine that show up that are hidden almost like
Aqua
leopards.
Nazi fish bitch.
But they're still around.
So Miranda is from Utah.
Okay. Give me a second here.
Let's go to do a psychic reading. The high priestess fish bitch.
Okay, can I need you to respond yes or no what I'm getting? I mean, this is kind of personal, but you asked for it, okay? So I do see some type of it looks like some type of abuse, some type of control mechanism. It feels like there was a grouping like schooling.
There's always abuse
It does look
connected
like
to this
early
stuff.
age. It does look like some kind of trauma that took place, and it was some kind of altered teaching. Now, I want to say this. There was a lot of people. I made it very high up to Eagle Eye. I was over all the psyops and the super soldiers.
Oh,
I was very
she
powerful.
was a high priestess fish
So
bitch, and she
the
was in
people
charge
that
of all
didn't
the
make
super
it that
soldiers.
far might have been less, but some people didn't make it into the program because they were either too rebellious, they weren't compliant, they
Thank you,
shut
Chill
down
Station 7.
for whatever
Bonus.
reason. I don't think you went that far in it. I do think there was something where it feels like you were like during school taken somewhere, and you might have this
I see you naked
another
with a man
timeline.
in a
Let's just use that.
Roman-style band.
Or
James.
and so just be at peace with that. Go, okay, well maybe so. I know this is crazy stuff where you might feel like there was special teachings. Not everybody made it through the program. Some people could not be programmed. I thought it was
They
this
were
great adventure, and I
traumatized,
could meet all
yes.
these cool looking,
Send
weird,
past.
strange beings, which I thought were fabulous.
80s
But not
style
everybody had that
spaceship.
attitude.
James is Captain
Does
Kirk.
that make sense?
He's on the Star Trek Enterprise.
Okay.
Yes.
So a lot of times, just to let you know, okay, thank you, Miranda. To let you know, a lot of me too, I had sexual abuse early on from my stepdad, which I've forgiven him and all that, because it's not good to hold on to that for you or for them. And I know it's a process. I get it. I'm not saying that lightly. But they look for that. They look for people that have had trauma, whether it's a family that came from alcoholism, some kind of abuse, whatever it is, to bring into the program. Because, and I hate to say this, but I'm just going to tell you what I know to be true. They, and I've done past life regression on this, like deep hypnosis with Geraldine and Roscoe. And then it just started coming out one day. I was like, oh my God, like 2 hours of like, oh, it's so good. But what they do, if you aren't compliant and you're not getting the homework, the psychic homework or whatever the homework, or they want intel from you or whatever they want from you, whatever program they're putting you in, if you're not compliant with it, they induce pain. But what they do is they don't induce necessarily real pain. They put psychologically in your mind, say, for example, you'd be murdered or your guts torn out. It was pretty awful. But they're not actually doing it. But they just put the terror in your mind. It's like watching a really bad horror movie, but like 3D or whatever. And so they do that to trigger your psychic abilities. So they like working with children with trauma, but very few people can.
Tamara, let's get.
Yeah, and by the way, there's a real weird underbelly here of all of these people experiencing some kind of childhood trauma. And someday I want to talk to a psychiatrist about, like, is this what causes these midlife sort of fantasies? Like, this bitch is saying she was a high priestess. She could breathe underwater. She was a fish bitch, and she was in charge of programs, in charge of all the super soldiers somehow, because she was very powerful. And like, is that some psychological thing? Like, these people experience childhood trauma and then they decide they're somehow special or they're super soldiers. It's really bizarre.
The next one, because we got 2 people in here, and let's see if we can get them put on before somebody starts banging on my door. Okay, so Nathan's asking if his altar is Seth Donovan Braddock's.
I don't know. Real quick, I just want to make sure, because that's heavy what I laid up there, and I just want to make sure real quick. Does this make sense? I just want to get a yes or no, because that was heavy, and I don't want to be cruel. I don't want to be cruel. I'm a
yeah, we love you, Miranda. We love all.
So this crazy fish bitch is like reinforcing people's delusions, claiming that she's doing psychic readings for them and she's got all the answers. And obviously, if you suddenly wake up one day and decide that you were in a secret space program and you became a super soldier and you fought aliens on Mars, you've got some kind of mental delusions or problems, and you probably should see a psychiatrist, not a psychic fish bitch.
Are you okay with this?
Yeah, a lot of us need a lot of healing, and I think when the med beds come out, it's going to really help. But why should we wait to get?
All right.
Oh
so
yeah,
Miranda,
the med
just
beds
chat back
are
in
help,
and see if that
sure.
and I send you love and an understanding. I do, okay? But I don't think you went through the full thing, and I'm so sorry what you did go through. All right, and you can get more of this. Some of this is private, so you can do that privately with me. All right, let's see. This reading
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with
private
his books.
reading. Yes.
I'm not familiar with one of his books. I don't know who he is. I haven't read it. I can't answer that.
It's his altar.
Altar.
Oh, Seth.
You mean he has
Seth,
multiple
the channel
personality
thing?
disorder?
I guess, yeah. Seth
Yeah.
Donovan at his altar.
I'm not sure really what this question is. I can tell you my take on Seth. Is that what he wants? I don't know. It doesn't feel right. Something feels off with this. Now, there's things that are trying to manipulate our consciousness out there. Some of you that may wake up and
Yes.
you may
Speaking
feel,
of manipulators.
not always, but say from time to time, a
people
dark
are trying to
oppression and a
manipulate
darkness.
people.
If they have a mechanism, the reptilians or whatever, they have a mechanism where they try to keep our consciousness down, but nothing can keep your consciousness from the source of all things. It's beautiful, right? So you put our attention on it and then boom, you're out of it. Something's off with Seth. I've read some of his stuff. It sounds really good. And then other things that are off. So I can't comment about this particular thing.
So it might be somebody
David
knows.
the Clown.
not-
This is
but
all
not
crack
necessarily altar.
cocaine, meth, boxed wine, based
Someone's
insanity.
I just can't answer that. I
After
think
you
we
do
should go to the
enough,
next one. I'm so
you're
sorry.
out of
but
your
I
fucking
really do.
board.
Here's a good
eventually.
question about Elon
Yes.
Musk. Someone was asking you, is he in the secret space program?
You know, I don't think his consciousness is there. He's really interested in what he wants to do and whatever that is. And so much so, it's
There is
just
Med
about
Fed
him.
wiki page,
Whether you
yes.
like him, whether you don't, he does do some cool things. That rocket lining up is pretty amazing. I don't think he's aware of the whole alien things. I think he's aware of himself. That's why the say the dark cabal or
She
whatever
can
you want to
breathe
call it.
underwater.
I
She
don't think
must
they
be
can influence
great
him,
going
or
down.
maybe not necessarily the light
no gag
ones or the
reflex.
white hats, because he's just going to do what he's going to do. I don't think
Suffolk,
he's
bro.
very spiritually developed as a human yet.
Med
I
beds
think
don't
he's
fix
just in it
crazy, I
for
guess.
whatever
Yes.
his next idea is.
Box
So
wine
I don't
mom.
think
Yes,
I
Mr.
don't think
Sauce.
he knows to have a dark or a good agenda. I think he has his agenda. And I don't think he's progressed enough to know that. So I think you're giving him a lot of credit in the spiritual arena.
Okay. Here's from Dreamcats asking if I was a Scandinavian super soldier. I have vague memories. I'm from Sweden, Scandinavia, and Northern Europe.
Okay. Well, hello, brother, because my family is half of them actually migrated from Sweden and Germany to here.
Oh, great.
And the other part is Cherokee. So,
Why do so many of these crystal hippie bitch psychic bitches
you know,
claim to
the
be
connection that I
Indian
get, and
when
that's why I must
American
say
Indian?
this. God, there is a connection. There is a connection. Okay, so my family
Native
moved
American.
to Hickory, North Carolina, which is not too far
I
from
think they
Spruce
think that
Pines,
gives them
about
some
an hour and a
credibility.
half, right? So why? Because they call it. They actually have not far from
Nope.
where we're going to be
Med
at
beds
in this
don't
event. This
fix
Spruce
crazy.
Pine, a little Switzerland, because it looks so much like Sweden. That's why they moved there.
The glasses remind me of Elton John.
You know,
What's
far
with
as
weird
distance,
sunglasses
when you're
tonight?
talking about the secret space program, they have these magnetic
She has a
trims, they have
wine
portals
bed.
to go through. They have different
Yeah,
technology.
and a
So
straw.
distance really is not, you know, we're one
Or
big
a
happy
waterbed
family
filled
Earth.
with
It's not
wine
really
and a
a
straw.
thing. It's almost like opening a closet and going through the other end. So, yeah, I say you're very highly trained, you're very
I don't know about
athletic, you're
that. I
very
think it
muscular,
might
you're very
contribute to it,
trained, you're
though.
obsessed with it almost. And the
I like
reason
the
you're
Hindu
obsessed with
art.
it is because
Yes.
you're a soldier. And that's okay. And I think you and your heart do all the things for the right reasons. I think you are obsessed with
It gives credit to their
working
stories
it
that they say
out,
they're
and it
indigenous.
disgusts you that people that don't, and about being
Pocahontas.
one-minded and having
She looks
clear
about as Native
decisions.
American as
It's
I do.
because
I don't know.
that's how you've always
You can't
been.
tell by
That's why
looking,
you're
though.
valuable. I think you did the same thing like many of us. I think it was the 20 and back. So you got two timelines. So it's very confusing. So you can just pretend one is a dream.
So this lady is reinforcing this guy's delusions that he was a super soldier and he worked in the secret space program. And I think a lot of these people are willing to pay for somebody to reinforce those delusions. That's why there's so many people selling like hypnotic regressions, super soldier activation courses, and all of these things because it reaffirms the delusion that the person started with, right?
And then usually it's all the same, except for there's a point in time where two, right? Where you have two, but essentially you're kind of the same person, but it's two. Did I say that correctly?
I think you did an amazing job. Yes. So thank you, Dreamcat, for that. So do you have any information on the Indian secret space program, or are you aware of? Yes, I am aware of it, but don't have.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know the name of it.
Indians have a secret
Maybe
space
you could pick
program
up
now?
something on that.
Like people from India?
I know I had a friend that he was
Is
an
he
admiral
drinking
in
from a
the
Star
Indian,
Wars glass?
because that would be the
Wait a
Aryan, right?
minute.
That's
Wait
I
a
am aware
minute.
of it, but don't
Really?
have. Yeah, I don't know the name of it. Maybe you could pick up something on that.
What kind of glass is that? It looks like a Star Wars glass. I'm sorry I can't zoom in. It's I wish I knew. Sorry.
I know I had a friend that he was an admiral in the Indian, because that would be the Aryan, right? That's there. The India is the Aryan people, right? The Aryan race.
These guys are
Real
obsessed with like race stuff too. All of them. Aryans, Nazis, eugenics. That's another part of this super soldier secret space program lore.
They're real Aryans.
Iran too.
I don't know about that, but I do know that because we are hybrids, let's just make this super simple because
Oh, we're all
we've got
hybrids.
India,
Okay.
we've got freaking all over the place, right? Everybody watching,
Looney
okay?
Tunes,
Germany,
folks. Yes.
okay,
She
we've all
buys
migrated
wine
from
by the
somewhere, right?
cask.
We have family, we got a
By
little
the
bit of
barrel.
everything.
This
I got
bitch
my
buys
DNA
wine by the barrel.
back. There's a whole lot of junk
Troll.
DNA, and that's the good stuff. That's where hybridization. Most of us have been in some type of
Not the Star Wars
hybridization
glass.
program, if not in a secret space program.
Is there a
Just throughout our
Pakistani space
actual
program?
true
I
origin
really
of
don't
how
know.
we got here. And that's why there's so much, the disclosure, I'm not waiting from any
Colonel Rink. Yes.
government
He was a
rulers
colonel.
from wherever, okay? It's going to be people. It's people.
He
They're
lives in a
getting
group
direct
home.
contact
3
from their
Chris's,
star family, and I think it's because we're trying to ascend out of this
like the African
this
helicopter
matrix.
builders.
And there was a comment earlier about,
Yes.
oh, you're stuck in the. Can I say BS? Okay, because let me tell you what. I'm a 6-time near-death experiencer, and there are
Oh, wait a
different
minute.
levels. There are Arcturian transplant
Wait a
stations where they
minute.
actually.
She says she's a 6-time near-death experiencer? That would have to mean that you were dead 6 times, bitch. It's getting a little thick in here. I was okay with you being a high priestess fish, bitch. But now, she's a 6-time near-death experiencer. It means she had 6 near-death experiences. Like, was that when you were shooting up heroin and OD'd and your heart stopped for a minute? 6 times? drugged out crazy bitch.
To wipe your memory and go on. You're going to go to the level of your spiritual awareness. That's where you're going to go next. And if you're higher up, that's where you're going to go. They've actually logged people's brain waves and seen where the soul goes. And I wish I could remember the study and who it was. I'm sorry, but I just read this, and they
David
found
McCloud.
someone
We need
like
David Adair. We need
like
more
a
David
quadrillion, zillion miles away on a different planet. So that is not true. That being, and the David Icke thing, I've been on his channel and I like a lot of his stuff. Okay, but in this particular thing, I have to respectfully disagree that if you're powerful, you can supersede that, and that's a bunch of BS. Okay, just thought Tamara want to make a comment on that.
Okay, how about we make this the last question? Because I commented that Christians would be one of the last to not as I said it's sin, but it's more like wake up, because they believe that they're going to have a rapture and a tribulation and all this. That's what
I am so glad that's being asked. First of all, when I had my 6 near-death experiences, 2 of them, I saw Jesus, and one of them, I was dead 15 minutes at arrival and 2 minutes, and then 2 hours after that, on and off, they were trying to resuscitate me, and I was declared dead. I went to spend with Jesus 3 days in heaven. He is my main teacher. I adore him. I channel him. I've been channeling him since 2 years old.
Jesus
and yes,
Christ.
It's him. I've done about 24 demonic deliveries.
Fuck David Wilcock. He's only channeling an alien. This bitch is channeling Jesus Christ himself, right? They die every 3rd week of the month. She hangs with Daniel Brinkley. Yes, she does. I love it when they name numbers also. One time I saw 3 UAP, but then this other time there were only 7. Listen, we're only sampling a very small amount of this crazy bitch. This one is a wackadoo, worthy of the overtime, friends.
They're awful. I said, please, Jesus, don't make me do this again. And I adore him. He is so much. The church is controlling. They don't tell you everything. And I think Jesus wants us to use our own mind, which is one reason he told me to start my Seeking Heaven channel, so people can, I said, what to have on? He said, near-death experiences, out-of-body, UFO. He said, get people to think for themselves. He said, you'll mention me from time to time, but get people to think.
Jesus wanted her to start a YouTube channel, friends. Jesus Christ himself. She spent 3 days in heaven with Jesus. This was after she was a high priestess fish bitch in Atlantis. Let's just review. 7 near-death experiences. She's a psychic. She's a medium. She could talk to your dead relatives. She once had shape-shifting superpowers. She died a bunch of times and came back. And in one of those near-death experiences, she spent 3 days in heaven with Jesus, who told her to start a YouTube channel. This all sounds totally legit and not drug-fueled. I think this bitch is channeling a crack pipe. That's what I think she's channeling a crack pipe, this bitch.
My love for him is greater than just about anyone that I know, but I'm also, once you've come out of the box to see things for what they are at a higher rate,
yes,
then
David, you warned us.
I don't question Jesus. I question the dogma behind it. And
yes,
the
Jesus,
ETs, are they demons? No, I've seen demons, black eyes, voices change. It's awful. And they're not. They're spirit beings that can inhabit humans or non-humans. Yes. They can inhabit aliens, but you have to be a lower vibe, or you have to not be spiritually protected for that to happen. Whatever it is, all the other planets know who Jesus is. They may call him a different name, but they know exactly who you're talking about. And he's much honored and loved and respected.
Sarah Adams has more credibility than her.
Wow, thank you so much. So we're going to wrap it up here. Everybody, thank you all thank you, Tamara. I guess, did I get it right?
No, we'll get it right. It'll be something we can work on.
Tamara, thank you, all the people that asked questions. Thank you.
Have some respect for the high priestess fish bitch that knows Jesus.
Another time in extra time, like 2023. What will happen to that? That was Peter the Insider. We got to get him back on here, but unfortunately he doesn't want to talk.
Chicks named I knew one. I dated a girl named Tamara once. She was a wackadoo.
Awesome. Yeah. Go to Spruce Pine Alien Festival to learn more.
So hot though. I just put up with it.
and the directions and all that, the details. Also, go to what's your website?
It's you can go to the Academy of Wisdom.com, and then you can see under services. I have classes too. You can channelings on there you can see, but if you go under there, you can also get a session with me.
Oh, you could buy a
Great. Send me the
with
link. We'll put
this
that in the
woman.
description.
She knows
Okay.
Jesus.
Also,
so-
go to supersoldiercon.com. Purchase your tickets to the October 8th to 12th event, and let's see if we can bring Tamara with us. And we can also, you should all come out to support the super soldiers and SSP disclosure to let your voice be heard. That the secret space program disclosure is here. Thank you all, and we'll all see you all later. Goodbye, everybody.
Is there going to be
See you all
another
later.
another great banger? Oh boy! Oh, we missed it already. God damn it! We could have went to this WACKADOO conference. All right. Well, we're going to close things out with a visit to supersoldiercon.com. That's right, friends. You too can activate the super soldier within you October 8th through 12th. Now, here's where it gets fun. These are the event speakers. James Rink from the Super Soldier Talk podcast, the show host. He runs these, by the way, I believe. And he believes that he's a super soldier that has superpowers. That's right. He has superpowers. Can't show you the superpowers, but he has them. Jean Charles Moyen, who was a Solar Warden super soldier. Johnny Enoch, who is a USAP, I think this supposed to be UAP researcher. I don't know. Michael Sedona, who's a whistleblower on Truth on TV. Chris O'Connor, he's the United Nations Intergalactic Intuitive Liaison. That sounds made up. I don't know. Let's call the United Nations and ask to speak to Chris O'Connor. And when they don't know who the fuck he is, we can bust this guy. He's an intergalactic intuitive liaison for the United Nations. I call bullshit. Miles Johnson, who's the original. Miles Johnson is the original secret space program and super soldier grifter. He was highly connected to Max Spears and that crazy bitch Sarah Adams. Mike Barra, he's a grifter. Secret history of NASA, it's all bullshit. He shows people pictures he says are structures on the moon, and they're just grainy, misinterpreted photographs. Dylan Lewis Monroe, he's a deep state mapping project founder. Okay. We have Rebecca Rose. Rebecca Rose was a previous WACKADOO of the week. She was a cyborg. She's got cybernetic implants and all kinds of superpowers. And she was cloned and all this stuff. If you go to our main channel and just put in the search bar the term WACKADOO or Rebecca Rose, you'll find the episode we did on her. Total WACKADOO. Laura Worley, MK Ultra author. Donna McGrath. She's an energy healer. What does that even mean? Does she electrocute people to heal them? Mary Beaver. That sounds dirty. She's a U.S. Army MK Delta Cosmic Majestic, whatever that means. Dr. Donnie Delirious, who we sampled as the WACKADOO of the week this week. He's a fake doctor who's selling terminally ill patients false hope. In other words, he's a fucking scumbag, this guy. He's a total scumbag. All right, who else we got here? Alondra Markham, SRA survivor, whatever that means. Christy Campbell, she's a super soldier. Do any of these people look like soldiers so far? They look like fat, out-of-shape slobs to me. Angie Dollar, quantum healing hypnosis technique practitioner. In other words, she's full of shit. Julia Common, well, she's easy on the eyes at least. She's a secret space program remote viewer. And then we have Oksana Buchanan, super soldier and intuitive. So she's a super soldier and she's got super psychic powers. Captain, I love when they give themselves military ranks and shit, like Captain Randy Kramer. This guy stole that from Randy Kramer. But anyway, Captain Matthias Newskin, who's an NWR Kroger special ops person. Kozel Ouch, he's a super soldier. And we've got Janana Prakash, who's a quantum consciousness healer and mentor. And then we've got Thomas Alvin, who's Nakwaffen MIO. I think that's some kind of Nazi shit, right? I told you, they're obsessed with Nazi space people. They watched that movie, Iron Sky. We know you won't tell them the truth. We will. Get ready for 4 days of groundbreaking discussions. I love how all these fucking complete and total liar, bullshitter, scam artist wackadoos are claiming like, oh, everybody's lying to you, but we're going to tell you the truth. We will share everything from UFO sightings to the hidden truths of the secret space program, super soldiers, my labs, military abductions, MK Ultra, Monarch, and the shocking secrets of Montauk. Yeah, the shocking secrets of Montauk, it was a bunch of guys that like to watch other men jerk off in chairs. Exposing the hidden world of special access programs, mind control experiments, and more. The truth finally comes to light. See you there. Let's get some tickets, friends. I'm sold. All right. How much is it? Super Soldier Comic-Con Pass, daily vendor room access. So the live stream ticket to live stream this bunch of nonsense bullshit, bunch of grifting scumbags that are preying on. And by the way, anybody that says they're like a quantum healer or a naturopathic laboratory doctor, you know, the guy that wants you to give him a sample of your shit, or quantum healing mentor, they are predators, and they are taking advantage of sick and vulnerable people, in my opinion. A live stream ticket is $99. Can't attend in person? Join us from anywhere in the world with a live stream ticket. Okay. Wow. So early bird, August 5th, 4-day general admission, $300. It costs $300 to go listen to all these wackadoos. VIP gold all, and you get a meal pass at $700. Wow. 4 general admission passes, $800. You could bring some friends to the wackadoo. Look, 10% code. You can save 10% off. Just use the code Sabretooth, because James Rink had a pair of saber-toothed tigers, right, as a charity. The Super Soldier Activation Conference is an educational conference and charitable fundraiser. It just got fucking scammier and griftier. So this money is going to charity. Guess whose charity all the money goes to benefit? That's right, James Rink's charity. Healing Soul Survivors, a 501c3. But here's where it gets fun, friends. I didn't know that this guy had a charity scam going, allegedly. I don't know that it's a scam yet, but we're going to investigate it. We're going to get the documents. We'll get the documents, and we'll find out how much money James Rink is taking in with this so-called charity, and we're going to find out what he spends the money on. National advocacy organization that assists in the recovery of veterans and soul survivors suffering from the horrors of post-traumatic stress disorder from the secret space program. Your tax-deductible donation will strengthen the voice of the Super Soldier Activation Conference and supersoldiertalk.com. We are fully dependent on disclosure-minded individuals like yourself for support. Thank you so much for making the world better. So It's not a donation. You're setting the fucking price. This is a scam, in my opinion. And I've just taken a quick cursory look. This is a scam. We're going to look deeper into it. And maybe we'll call the venue and ask them if they know what is going on here. This is crazy, right? Is that supposed to be James Rink in his super soldier alter ego? I mean, come on, friends. What a scammy bunch of shit this is. All right, we've made it through. We've made it through another wackadoo of the week. This is the one around here. Oh my God, yeah, been 25 years, I'm aware. Great. How can he not say her name right? Yeah, no shortage of crackpots. Good and Wilcock are not alone. Nope. There's a whole ecosystem of these scammer, crackpot, lunatic losers out there. And they're all taking advantage of people. But hey, don't worry, because all this money that they're raising, $800 for a VIP pass, that goes for a charity, right? Archaic Revival says, I have no memory of my time on the Space Force, but can I get some benefits money now? Yes, absolutely. I hope James is in super soldier costume. That would make it better, right? Corey Good said he had post-traumatic stress disorder from the secret space program. Yes, he did. And then he lied about that under oath in court because he's a fucking scumbag too. You know, I try to laugh and have a good time with this, but then when I see that they're like saying, oh, give us $800 and it benefits charity. You mean it benefits your charity? The guy that's running this super soldier basically scam? This is who it benefits, right? I get angry because, and also when I see these people that claim to be healers or doctors that aren't really helping anybody, like, you know, how much of a piece of shit scumbag do you have to be to take money from somebody who's sick, especially terminally ill? And did you notice? He was specifically, this fake doctor was specifically pitching people who have terminal illness because he can heal them where all real medicine fails somehow, right? So that, like I said, I try to laugh at this stuff, but then I realize the reality of it is that they're scamming sick, vulnerable people. Maybe sometimes they're scamming mentally ill, vulnerable people. And then I start to get angry. And James Rink, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry, bitch. We're going to look into his charity, though. That'll be another show that we could do. I'll get going on that over the weekend. I'll go see if I can locate the paperwork for his so-called healing foundation, right? We'll take a moment just to check in with everything, the Kick chat, the Buy Me a Coffee. No, we're all caught up on Kick. Let me just get over to the Buy Me a Coffee. I know somebody bought me a coffee, but it's Buy Me a Beer. I don't know. The ghost living in Cat's womb bought me a beer. Ha ha ha. So thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. The ghost living in Cat's womb bought a beer. And before that, Simon bought 2 beers. And before that, someone, user ID someone, bought a beer twice and said, enjoyed the Professor Dave reviews on Ashton Forbes. Praise the cash. Simon bought 2 beers and says, it's good stuff, man. And the ghost living in Cat's womb bought a beer and said, boo. And someone also said, keep exposing these grifters, Steve. Great work. And Robert P. bought a beer and says, cheers, buddy. Well, thank you all for your kindness. Thank you all for your generosity and your support of the show. It is much, much appreciated. Where we go? There we go. So I'm not sure when I'll be back, but I do have a premiere video. We're going to be transmitting Emery Smith's drunken rant videos this weekend. Yeah, we're at the bottom of the slop barrel, friends. Oh, look at that. Charles McDonald. What very, very kind of you. Charles McDonald is making it rain up in here. $75 Canadian. Praise to cash. Praise to cash. Hallelujah, bitches. Thank you, Charles McDonald, for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of the show. We're going to play you the long thank you bumper. Thank you, buddy.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
Thank you, Charles McDonald, long-time and big-time show supporter, dropping dono bombs for a while now, and we appreciate you, Charles McDonald. Thanks for appreciating us. Chill Station 7 says, laughing my ass off. Suffer, Phil. I think I hit 2 Phil goals today, Chill Station 7. And you know what's funny? This show, I expect it to be like a $20 support show because it's just not, who knows who this fucking weirdo fake doctor is, right? Nobody. The shows that usually do better with support are with more well-known characters like David Wilcock or Darkside Phil. David McLeod with a super sticker for $5. Pair character lifting some weight saying, keep it up. We will, and thank you for your kindness.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash.
All right. So we want to take a moment to thank you, kind and generous benefactors. You Kick subscribers, you people gifting subs on Kick, you people buying me a beer, you Patreon supporters, you YouTube channel members, you kind and generous people like Robert P. and Mike Larry gifting all these YouTube channel memberships and helping to grow our community. You people sending super stickers, super thanks. Did you know that? There's a super thanks. There's a thanks button. You can throw a couple bucks in our hat, even if you're watching the replay, and really help us out. And I reply at least by text and thank every person that sends a super thanks. We read all the super chats and super stickers. We thank everybody gifting a sub or becoming a subscriber on Kick. We thank everybody who becomes a member or gifts memberships on the YouTube side. And we thank you Patreon supporters, you PayPal pledgers. Thank you all for your kindness, generosity, and support. Let me just check in with the PayPal. I just checked it earlier, though, so I don't think we have any to call out, but we don't want to miss anybody. For those unaware, we read and thank every single person who sends some support our way. And by the way, if I ever miss you, just drop me an email, because occasionally, once in a great, great while, I'll miss one. Oh, we have a $20 PayPal pledge from Maria, who says, tonight was some of the best wackadoos ever on Truth Seekers. Do more. We will. Maybe we'll bring it back. We were doing one a week. Wackadoo of the week, after all, is what the theme of the show is. So we have done our due diligence. Arlene says, congratulations on the land deal. Yes, I am going to post some pictures of fish by popular demand on my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter or X. It's at Stephen Cambion. And then I'm going to do, I think what happened is I started coughing because I was walking up a hill with my gimpy leg and I was having a hard time breathing. So I just got to cut this one little section. Anyway, I'm going to upload a video about the land deal. And thank you all for your congratulations. We're going to have our own Cambion cult compound, right? In the woods. Thank you, Patty, as well. Make sure you press the like button as well. And Aaron Flores reminding everybody, we have done our due diligence. Yes. Ty Blee says, yes, I want to see this land. I do a total walkthrough. You're going to see the whole thing. And I'm going to post it to the Patreon and the members only within the next, I'd say, hour, 2 max, Ty Blee. And for Trolly Troll Troll, I will post some pictures of the fish that my son caught. So, yeah. Cambion Supervillain Camp. It's the Dark Alliance World Headquarters, Arlene. I forgot. Maybe Spooky can help with that. Yeah. Arlene, you're assigned to Slave Labor Camp 2. Spooky and H-Bomb are assigned to Slave Labor Camp 1, okay? We're going to be assigning slave labor camps to my new compound, right? You want to see the fish photos. There's only a couple, but I'll post them, Trolly Troll Troll. And so thank you all for your kindness, generosity, and support. I'm not sure when I'll be back. Maybe I'll do a stream from the cabin, but you guys know I always say that. Then I get busy just having family time and fun, and I sometimes don't get to it. But I really got to try it from the cabin. I took a better PC there. Ask anybody that has a vacation home. You put all your trash at the vacation home, like your older TV. You get a new TV, so you take the old TV to the cabin. I have some trash PCs over there, and I tried to run a stream once, and the thing just choked like a that just choked like a Windows 98 computer. It did not handle streaming well. But I think that's a software issue. Maybe if I don't know. The thing's so old, it's running Windows 7. That'll tell you something. So the browser's old and unupdatable, and you know the drill. I mean, maybe I could try putting Linux on it and try again, but I still think it's underpowered. So I took a better PC there. I'm going to be giving that a try. So for now, we have done our due diligence, my friends. I'm going to bounce on out of here. I'm headed to the cabin tomorrow night, and I'm going to have some fishing and some hiking and some time at the lake. Hopefully, I'm going to start on my woodshed project. I'm making my woodshed 3 times bigger. Because no matter how much firewood you think you need and need storage for, you always need more than that. So we want to remedy that. I'll be at the new cult compound. I have a few things to do there. Now that I've signed the deal and the paperwork is done, it's officially mine. So I want to put up some private road, no trespassing signs on my new road. I've never owned a road. This is cool. And it's such a huge property. But for those unaware, if you own very rural property and it is not very clearly marked private property, anybody can go and hunt on your property and you can't really do much about it. I do not want poachers on my land taking animals that are mine. Well, they're not mine. They belong to the forest, but you know what I mean. And sometimes there are dirt bikers, quad riders, hikers. They just wander into this place. And, I don't begrudge anybody just having a good time, but it's my private property. I bought it. And so I have to put up all these signs on all the trees, post it, private property, no trespassing. Like, I'm not kidding you. You'll see when you see the video. I got to put up like 100 signs. Plus mark the private road. And I'm going to have a busy weekend, but a great one. And I hope you will be having a great weekend too. I'm sure looking forward to it. I want to thank you for a great week of streaming. And I really will try to jam one more in for the week. Maybe we'll try that kick.com exclusive panel show this weekend. I'll get Spooky. If Spooky does the thumbnail, I feel like I have to do it. So maybe I'll talk to Spooky. And those panel shows are kind of crazy, but they're entertaining, right?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Haha, yes. Yes. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to bounce on out of here. I'm not sure when I'll be back. Follow me on X or Facebook. On Facebook, it's Stephen Cambion. On X, it's at Stephen Cambion as well. And I'll announce if we're doing another show for the week. Hopefully, I'll have the time, energy, and thumbnail to get that done. So that's all I got for you, friends. Until next time, my name is Stephen Cambion. Good night, and God bless all of you.
Dark corners of the night, secrets hidden from the light. Whispers turn to screams, shattering all your dreams. Eyes wide open now, truth you can't disavow. Echoes through the halls, crashing all your walls. Truth seekers, exposing the truth. Truth seekers, coming for you. Uncover the lies, open your eyes. Shadows try to hide, no place for them to bide. Light will pierce you through, reveal what is true. from your fears. Can't escape the sears. Truth will hunt you down, tear apart your crown. Truth seekers exposing the truth. Truth seekers coming for you. Uncover the lies. Open your eyes. Eyes wide open now. Truth you can't disavow. Echoes through the halls, crashing all your walls. Truth seekers exposing the truth. Truth seekers coming for you. Uncover the lies. Open your eyes.
When I know, for example, Trump's been briefed. When I know, for example, Trump's been briefed. He's scared. He's scared they're going to kill him if he reveals what he knows.
You can do it, baby. I love you so much. You can do it, baby. I love you so
He's
much.
scared.
You can do it, baby. I love you so much. You can do it, baby. I love you
He's
so much.
scared.
Bad news, bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. Bad news, bad things are happening. Mom, I'm
He's
sorry.
scared.
Bad news, bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. Bad news, bad things are happening. Mom, I'm
He's
sorry.
scared.
This David Grush guy sounds like a nut. This David Grush guy sounds like a nut. This David Grush guy sounds like a nut. This David Grush guy sounds like a nut.
We build craft that look like their craft. They build craft that look like ours. Drones. We build craft that look like their craft. They build craft that look like ours. Drones. We build craft that look like their craft. They build craft that look like ours. Drones. We build craft that look like their craft. They build craft that look like ours. Drones.
You can do it, baby. I love you so much.
We build craft that look like their craft. They build craft that look like ours.